Hello, happy Monday. How are we all? Violet, how's your Monday been so far? How was your weekend? That's probably a better question, right? How was your weekend? Kiwi, thank you very much for the 7-month resub. Happy Monday. Kiwi, thank you. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. How you doing? What a way to start. Sam, how you doing as well? Howdy, everyone. Kiwi, thank you very much for your continued support. Helping keep the lights on. Hopefully you're doing well. What do we got going today? We got a bit going today, but first off, how was all your weekends? You have 2 weeks off work. Nice. Nice. Good. Doing anything special, or just like having time off work? Sometimes that's nice enough as it is, right? Yeah, hopefully you're going to spend it well. CJ, afternoon. Hold on a second, guys. My throat's all croaky as it is already. Weekend was good. Didn't do a lot. Visited Frank's parents on Friday. Hung out with a friend and some TV on Saturday. Nice. Made pizza Sunday. Pretty good weekend. Pretty good weekend, if you ask me. Anyone else? CJ? Kiwi? Sam? Anything decent happen in the weekend? Or doing anything this week? Can't complain? No, I wouldn't complain with that either, to be honest. And Kiwi, you've got nothing planned? Sometimes that's the best, right? You just get time off work. Just get time off work, and that's all you need, right? You had Frost. Sometimes not super helpful. Gonna buy a new e-bike though. Ooh, nice. Is this a road e-bike or is this a off-road e-bike? Because I've seen, can't remember the name of it now. I watched a video of a guy who tested out. It was like it's ultimately an electric dirt bike, and it was insane how fast it was and stuff. I think the only problem was the amount of time you actually got on it off a full charge. But even then, it was fast. It was light, and better than petrol. Keeping a low profile and sitting in front of the heater. Fair enough. So a good new listing. So you have a new house viewing next week. Ooh, exciting. Regular city kind of bike. Nice. But yeah, I mean, e-bikes are pretty cool. They're taking off here a little bit. We've now got electric scooters, you know, the like Razor scooters. We've got those have been given the okay here in London. Only in certain areas though, and only rentals. You're not allowed to own one and use it on the street or the footpath. You have to it's only rentals. Like, I'm trying to think of some of the names. Is like Lime, you know, they park them on the side of the street. You have an app and you pay for it and you take it and then you just leave it wherever you're done with it. That's pretty much all you're allowed to do here. But yeah, I've seen a few people around with the e-bikes as well. And how long do you have to charge it for? Or like, do you plug it into the wall? I'm sure it's not USB charging, right? For you, that'd be okay, doing a workout on an e-bike and loading it for weeks? You mean charging it for weeks, you mean? Slightly longer weekend. Took Friday afternoon off to take Doug to the groomers for a bath and get his claws cut. Nice. Otherwise, pretty much a standard weekend. Nice. And Kiwi, you were playing games as well. Any particular games in the weekend? Yeah, CJ, we had an alright weekend. It was relatively relaxing. Relatively relaxing weekend. We at the local grocery store we found these, like, I'm gonna call them Christmas like biscuits, I guess, like bags of them, but they're like seasoned and they're quite soft. It's not like a hard biscuit or anything. They're quite soft, but man, do they taste good. And hugely addictive. We have bought some extra bags of them, so we're gonna be getting fat this Christmas. Otherwise, just like, you know, grocery shop. Crackle streamed on Sunday. She wasn't feeling super great on Saturday. Yeah, just hung around home, that sort of thing. Tried to keep warm. You have a regular bike. Bikes are already massive here. Yeah. They aren't really violent. So many people on electric. Just cycle? Unless you're old, need to cover massive distances or have something else wrong. Well, where you are, is it relatively flat, Violet? It's different, I guess, because you grow up over in the Netherlands with cycling. Like, everyone grows up with cycling, so I'm sure you're all very used to it. Whereas, say in London, for example, when it's like city traffic and stuff, it's not entirely easy to cycle everywhere. I don't know how best to describe it, but it's not easy to cycle everywhere, and you kind of have to keep up with traffic. So like having an e-bike and being able to just like keep up with traffic, yeah, it might be easier that way. You've never seen something more flat if you have hills and stuff? Yeah. Your 40-year-old neighbor only uses electric to go to the supermarket, like 5 minutes that way. Yeah, that's lazy. I'll agree with that. That's lazy. But if you're going to work, for example, I'm just on the outside of London Center, or what's called London City. We're called what's Greater London, right? So there's like London City, and then there's Greater London, which is like circling around it. I'm gonna double check the distance here. I'm gonna double check the distance because it's really weird in London. It's not a long distance, but it takes so long to travel it because of traffic and how all the roads are windy fucking everywhere and stuff. So let me just double check this. Where I am now going to, I'm trying to think where my old work was. It's been that long. 12 miles. 12 miles. It's not a long distance, right? 12 miles. And you can cover that on a bike relatively easily. It still takes, like, if it was a straight line flat, right? 12 miles is nothing on a bike. But it takes about an hour and a half in London to travel that long. So if, say, you're going to work, you know, an hour and a half is a long way. That's a lot of cycling before you get to work and then after work as well. So an e-bike, you know, it kind of makes sense. You live 300 meters above sea level. Doesn't matter where you look. You have a hill or a mountain in front of you. Fair. Holland is much better infrastructure for cyclists. That's very true as well. Yes. Like, the Netherlands is like built around cycling. I would never cycle in London. I'm sorry, but there's so many accidents with cyclists and motorists just not looking at where they are. I would not, ever. Your parents bought electric bikes too. They're quite healthy, so you don't get why they don't just normally cycle. Because it's easier. They go on 60, 70 kilometer trips. Well, that's nice. Not all cycle lanes are separate. No, that's true, but it's still you've got a good infrastructure and stuff. They have some cycle lanes, you know, cycle lanes. They have some of them here, but even then, motorists just drive through them however they want. Now you can cycle with friends that are 25 kilometers away. Yeah, exactly. If you'd move into a 30 kilometer range of work, he would buy one, so it would be a nice cycle. London, you have to fight traffic and people. Yep. And the pollution. Yep. In London, you've got lots of lorries and buses. Yeah, no. There's, I've worked with several people who cycle to work, and some come from like great distances out, and they cycle into work, into London City. No, I don't know how they do it and not get killed. There was one intersection near my work that was horrible for accidents with cyclists because the motorists would like cut the corners and all this sort of stuff. And the amount of cyclists that were hit and killed at that one intersection was crazy over the amount of time that I worked in that area. But yeah, it's terrible here. There's so many motorists, lorries, buses, and all this sort of stuff that don't care for cyclists. But I have to say, the amount of cyclists in London who don't follow the fucking road rules, who run red lights, who weave in and out of moving traffic, you know, all the time, who were cycling on the wrong side of the road. I'm not surprised there's so many accidents. Yeah. Dutch cyclists do the same. Yeah, it's definitely not a London-only thing. I know that, but it's really bad in London. Really, really bad. And then the cyclists are the ones that complain when they get hit, and it's like, how many times have you run a red light? You know, how many times have you broken the law? Use the footpath whenever it suits you, and then just duck onto the road. Yeah, they're not innocent, that's for sure. Generalization, of course. Cycling in the Netherlands is super safe. From what I've seen, it's much safer, yes. But like I say, you've kind of the Dutch have kind of developed along with cyclists, whereas like London, for example, a lot of the roads and stuff are really narrow or just messed up because they started as like horse cart, you know, type things, and they haven't been able to expand out because all the buildings are in the way. So you got these really narrow roads, and there's just way too much traffic, and you got people who have no patience whatsoever. It's pretty crazy. It's all very jam-packed and chaotic. Yeah, London's also way more crowded. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's so calm when you go to the Netherlands. Except for when you go to Amsterdam. That's about as busy as London is at times. Especially during peak tourist season. Especially in the certain districts, you know, that are very popular with tourists. But then I guess you can't really class that the same as the rest of the Netherlands, though. Just saying, you know, just pointing it out. Not that I've, you know, frequented that area much. London most likely lives the same amount as in the whole Netherlands. The population of London fluctuates throughout the day by several million. You've never been there yourself? It's an experience. Amsterdam is definitely an experience. Very touristy though, but an experience. Let me see if I can find this. Population of London. So it's about 8.9 million people in London, but then there's something crazy, like during the working day, or at least pre-COVID, it would swell to like 12 million just for the working day. There's like that many people who come into London for work, and then they, you know, disappear again. But the 8.9 million or 9 million, whatever you want to call it, is just the people who live in that region. You've been there once. It was an experience for sure. Main reason you would say never go to Amsterdam again. I mean, you know, you have to see it once. You have to see it once. It's very interesting culturally. It's very interesting just experience-wise. But it is a giant tourist trap. To be fair. Half the population of the Netherlands live alone in London. Yeah, and it shows. It shows. It's so crowded and so busy. It's crazy. Polling to see the behavior towards the ladies. I've never really noticed a problem when I've been there. I've been there a couple times with friends and stuff. I've never noticed too bad of the behavior towards women. There's women working there, obviously, and I don't know. I guess, you know, there's a long discussion you can have about that industry, so to speak. Hey, Twitchy. How's your Monday? How's your weekend? Frequent visitor. I've been there like 3 times. Violet. I've been there 3 times. First time was with a friend. Second time was a second visit. We saw other areas as well. Third time was with a group of friends, and we did a what do you call it? Not an escape room. It was like a treasure hunt around Amsterdam. I guess you'd call it treasure hunt, but it was like based around facts of World War II. Interesting. You've seen families who go viewing the windows? Yeah, we've seen that as well, Fred. Yeah, like a zoo. You know, it's you know, unavoidable. The whole, like, you walk anywhere in the red light district and there's just, you know, sex or nudity or whatever everywhere. And there's the women in the windows and stuff. But yeah, we've been walking, you know, around, and there's people with like their kids and stuff. It's like, is this a good idea? The thing is, though, there are people who live in apartments and buildings and stuff in the area, so for some it is unavoidable. But these were definitely like sightseers, like it was a zoo. It's really weird. Hey Mermaid, how you doing? Happy Monday. How was your weekend? Know people who took their kids there to scare them? If you don't work hard in school, you'll end up here. Wow. Yeah, that's a bit weird. Not sure that's the right lesson to be teaching. Yikes. 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 Anyway, went from cycling to the red light district. That's how this goes. I will have to say, just as a side note, the before I started stream, not this particular channel that's showing, but there was a channel that was on the front page here in the top carousel, and for about 9 minutes, the streamer was just like looking at their phone or something while the game played out. It was like a multiplayer game, and there was a round currently taking place, and the streamer was just didn't even look up, didn't speak into the mic. You could just see them just, you know, the game was there playing out, but they clearly weren't controlling it, and they're just sitting there looking down, not saying anything, just looking at something. It's like, and you're on the front page. It was like almost 2K people watching them. Like, I don't know. Maybe they're really proud of the top of the head, maybe, but it was just, you know, you don't do it as a small channel. I guess, you know, you're already on the front page, so who cares? I don't know. It's just, it seems like a wasted opportunity. You'll sit nicely here in the corner of almost Germany. You're good. Weekend okay, except someone may have stolen your vacuum cleaner. I wanted to borrow it yesterday after 9 p.m. She said she's her upstairs neighbor and she would need it only for 30 minutes, and she never returned it, so you might have to start hunting her down today. Just politely knock on her door. Or just slip a note under the door, mildly threatening. Where's my fucking vacuum? Did you even hear them vacuuming? Or maybe you've actually got soundproofing, so you wouldn't notice. Unlike our place, our upstairs neighbor they vacuum at least once a day, and unfortunately there's no soundproofing, and it sounds like they're vacuuming our ceiling. Like, it's that loud. But maybe in nice apartments you can't hear people vacuuming. So, what a dream. Maybe she doesn't even live there, and that was the trick. Maybe she just tried her luck, seeing someone would give her a vacuum, and she's gone. Maybe you don't want the vacuum cleaner back after what they may have done with it. You know, just putting that out there. You had headphones on, your roommate promised she will come with you and speak in Russian. Because it would be more threatening. It'd be worse if it was a guy. According to the magazine you read when you were 13. What magazine were you? No, I don't think I want to know. I don't think I want to know what magazine you were reading when you were 13. You know those teen magazines? No, I can't say I do. and what magazines I did read didn't involve vacuum cleaners, as far as I can remember. With the sex question chapters, you know, that sounds very much like Clio, or what are the other ones called? What are the other ones called? You know, the women's sort of like semi-fashion makeup, whatever. How to make your man jealous in 20 steps, sort of thing, you know. There was a girl who wrote to ask if it was normal that her brother jerked off in the vacuum. Okay, yeah, Cosmo, that's it. Thank you. Moving on. Moving on. No, that's not normal. Vacuum cleaner is very shitty and sort of a little broken. Well, maybe they finally broke it, Twitchy. Maybe they thought they were helping you, giving you a great excuse to buy a better one. It's not. But now you're left with no vacuum. Not even a shitty one. You're left with no vacuum. It's not really helping you because now you have to pay to get a new vacuum. Any vacuum. Bikes, red light district, vacuums, what a day to be like. Yeah, where else will we go? Where else will we go? Anyway. Your roommate actually speaks Russian since it's her native language. So maybe she sounds more threatening. Maybe. I doubt there's many Russian speakers in Finland, right? Is she still annoying, Twitchy? Is she still really annoying? You want your shitty vacuum back? It's better than no vacuum, like I say. Otherwise, you're just being left out of money. Either way. Like, sure, you have a shitty vacuum and you might need to replace it, but at least you had a shitty vacuum. Now you have nothing. Maybe your flatmate should chip in. You know, putting it out there. There are many Russian speakers? Okay. Oh, right. Yeah, of course. Closer to the... Yeah, fair. Okay. My geography... plays out well again. Yeah, that's fair. Anyway. You want to hear something funny, though? On a side note, you want to hear something funny? Another Brit who doesn't know European geography. I'm not a Brit, though. But no, that Eastern European area, I don't know super well. So who borders who? I don't know. Brit liver doesn't mean I know all the geography. Where's Wales, Violet? Without googling it. You know, what's the capital of Wales? A Chinese dev gives up on China? Epic's not a Chinese dev. Whales are in the ocean. Well done. Well done. But Tencent owns part of Epic, but not all of it. Funny though. Hold on. Go over here. This is kind of a weird one, right? Fortnite's still a video game. Also West Bad, yes. Fortnite was released in China in 2018. Turns out it's been on a trial during that time Not necessarily a full release, so to speak, but it's been on a trial because China's cracking down on gaming, like in a big way. If you haven't seen, China has limited the amount of gaming time that kids under 18 can spend, and it's like, I think it was an hour and a half a week or something like that. They've got an allowance of time that they can play, and it's very small, and it's only between a certain time of day as well. So it's ultimately like chopped the sort of esports industry at its knees. 3 hours per week. Yeah, sorry, 3 hours per weekend, something like that anyway. So the esports industry in China has ultimately just like been chopped because you're not going to get kids who have the time to develop much of a, you know, much skill or whatever to be competitive in esports. So they've done that, but also China's cracking down on various other aspects of the gaming industry as well. And several game companies, their stocks have taken a big plummet at the announcements and stuff because they were very big in the esports center and stuff. Well, now Fortnite is their servers are being shut down in China. So since 2018, apparently Fortnite has been on like a trial anyway, and Epic and Tencent have been working with the Chinese government to try and, you know, get the okay to keep Fortnite going because China was saying no, Fortnite doesn't meet our requirements and everything. Apparently they had a problem with the last man standing aspect of the game. That's a core part of Fortnite, and I'm pretty sure they're not going to change that simply for China. So they have agreed, nope, we're going to pull the plug. I'm going to pull the plug on it. You had a pub quiz question about this. You guessed Fortnite, but you're curious why. The Quizmaster said the communication in the game. Interesting. I did a quick skim of this, and apparently it was... let's see if we can find it. Even though it's brought in $1 million, things started off at but never really launched in China. Never fully launched in China yet. It's been quite active. Yeah, concluding a 3-year trial from which it never made a dime. Yikes. New video games need government approvals. Licensing is stringent and unpredictable. Yeah, so in September, government capped children's playing time to 3 hours per week in most cases. It's ultimately like weekends, right? It was like Friday to Sunday or something. Encouraging them to spend more time outdoors and leaving enforcement largely to companies. However, they're going to manage that. We still haven't seen an explanation how they're actually going to limit people's game time. But anyway, we'll move on. This is all about the stocks changing. There's quite a bit in here. I'm not seeing a reason why. I'm not seeing a reason why Fortnite wasn't given the okay. Fortnite was able to win approval for a trial launch that year, but Beijing wouldn't let it offer a commercial version in which players could purchase digital items to decorate their in-game avatars. Tencent's failure to release the full game, along with the broader issues in the Chinese gaming market, wiped $200 billion from its market value over a period of 7 months. Right, so it's about the purchasing then. It's about the purchasing. By the way, Tencent is involved here because Tencent is the publisher of Fortnite for China. Not the developer, they're the publisher within the China region. So interesting. Like, I guess that's the point of having Fortnite, right? Is for people to buy skins. Since Fortnite's a free game, it's only going to make money with people buying skins and stuff like that. And if you take away that aspect, there's no point in having a game out there. It's not going to make any money, right? Sure. Skins are dumb. Skins are dumb. So Oh well, less people playing Fortnite. What a bad. Yeah. I don't like Fortnite, so it's no big loss. It's no big loss. Now they'll contaminate the games you like. You mean the kids? The kids playing Fortnite? Fortnite is, yeah, I hate Fortnite, but Fortnite is great for the fact that it's like a daycare, right? And if it wasn't for daycare, the kids would be out, you know, ruining the experience for everyone else. So have Fortnite up and put the kids in there so that I can enjoy my games without kids. Yeah. So it's a bane and a blessing. China's getting rid of most video games probably since it makes young people weak or something. I mean, like they said, the rules and stuff for getting licenses for games, because you have to get a license to publish your game there. The rules are very, you know, shifty and uncertain. So yeah, it looks like if they don't like your game, they'll just be like, nah, for some reason. Yeah. Imagine having fun. Go outside, Violet. Go outside. That's where the fun is. You know, the way they're cracking down on video games over in China, it's almost like an old-fashioned parent, you know, where they didn't want you inside. They wanted you outside as a kid, enjoying the sunshine and just the experience of being outside and playing with your friends and stuff. Because my parents were like that. You know, go outside. Instead of staying inside, playing video games or watching TV, go outside. Enjoy the sun. And it just seems China's like the old-fashioned parent for all Chinese kids. No, you can't play video games, go outside. Which, you know, there wasn't a problem with. Personally speaking, I think, you know, kids should still be enjoying time outside, out in the sun and all this sort of stuff. You need your vitamin D after all. You know, running around playing games and all that sort of stuff. I don't think kids shouldn't play video games, but play them in moderation. We've all seen the kids who play games too much, how they turn out. So, you know, there's a balance. There's a balance. Not mandatory by the government? No, it's not mandatory by the government. It's very true. China doesn't seem to like most popular things right now. Idols, movies, TV shows that have effeminate men. Oh, really? Or butch women. Really? I mean, there's a lot of weirdness going on in China, I gotta say. But then they cracked down on Bitcoin mining, surprisingly. You're like not allowed to mine Bitcoin anymore in China. Sadly, what kind of annoyed me, I think part of the reason was the environment, right? Because it pumps up power usage. And that's a big problem, right? And what was happening where people were making these huge Bitcoin mining factories. When I say factory, they would literally construct a warehouse that was just racks and racks and racks of Bitcoin mining machines, which are just like small computers, right? And they're sucking away power off the power grid. And tons of electrical components, tons of, you know, resources and stuff there. And China cracks down on it and says, nope, you can't have these factories anymore. And I saw some videos where all those crypto machines have been taken off the racks and just laid out in a pile on the ground. And they use a bulldozer and just run them over and crush them. And it's like, you could have recycled that or something. You know, sure, you're cutting down the mining factories because of the damage they're doing to the power grid. But now you're just wasting materials. It's like just as bad. Yeah, you could have sold them on or recycled them or something. Especially with the shortage of materials. Exactly. Like the amount of stuff that goes into a PC. There's gold in there. There's precious metals in there. In like your motherboard and the CPU and all this sort of stuff. You can actually refine them down. If you're desperate for money, you can actually refine computer components down and get the precious metals out of them. As someone with Chinese roots, you can say you're happy not to live in China. That's fair enough, I mean. It's definitely a different way of living. I've I've got a couple friends who immigrated from China, and they didn't have bad things to say, but it was just a very, very different way of living. But I guess it depends on where you're from anyway. Crunchy is manly. Break all the bad computers. Yeah, it's obviously a show, but it was such a waste. You can still recycle it from crushed. True. It's true, actually. There's a guy on YouTube who owns a like mining and metals company, and he's got some cool vids. I discovered him recently through a chain of other videos, and there's actually a point where he's breaking down computers and smelting all the precious metals out of them. Quite a process. But yeah, he's throwing like entire motherboards and graphics cards into this machine that just like grinds them up. So yeah, maybe just crushing them was part of the recycling. Sure. We didn't see them recycle them though. Hong Kong was fine until a short while ago? Yeah. Yeah, what's happening there is a bit not great. To put it lightly, obviously. Just have a very threatening neighbor right now. Yeah. Yeah. We won't go into the politics and stuff too much, but the what was it? Well, there's a couple things actually. The supersonic missile test, that's a bit concerning. And does anyone know about the satellite deal going on? Time for your bi-weekly torture. You'll see you on the flip side. Have fun, Violet. Hopefully not too bad. Have fun. We'll see you later. Thank you very much for hanging out, by the way. So there's China put up a satellite into space, obviously, and observers, they can't see what it is because it's like too close. It's really hard to actually, you would think with all their powerful telescopes and all this sort of stuff, you'd be able to like get a good video feed of a telescope up in space, but no, it's actually really hard. Anyway, China put up a satellite, and what's happened is they can see that the satellite's actually separated into two, and there's like, you know, they got told what the main satellite was going up for, but it's now separated into two, and no one knows what the second bit is, and it's just like trailing the second one. And people are like, what's the second piece? Like, what's that doing? What's that there for? And no one's getting any details on it. So as you can imagine, like satellite people and astronomers and stuff are a bit curious about what that's for. Because they're relatively secretive on details. Anyway, instead of, you know, like, let's move away from politics and stuff. That sounds promising. Can only be a good thing, right? Can only be a good thing. Moving back into the streaming stuff. Twitch. I'm kind of, I know why Twitch is doing this, but I'm kind of annoyed at this. Politics is fun? No, it's not, Fred. Moving on. Twitch has launched a live streaming incubator for the music industry. Yummy boy, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the dome. Why do I wear a jacket? It's a sweatshirt. It's a hoodie. It's because it's cold. Twitch has launched a live streaming music incubator program, and it's to help music artists on Twitch, which I guess is good. Twitch is still very much concentrating on the music industry. Twitch is very much still concentrating on the music industry, which is fine. I don't know what the end game is here. They want to get more music events and stuff live on Twitch. But I'd like to see an incubator program for other things. Every time I see this sort of stuff, it's like, where's the creative incubator program? You know, where's the stuff to try and get more creatives on Twitch? Painters, crafters, you know, jewelry artists, all this sort of stuff. I think that's a really big untapped market on Twitch myself. There's so many different varieties rather than just music, but I guess it doesn't pay as much. You know, they're trying to get music labels and stuff to cooperate with Twitch, which is probably why. That's probably why they want to get more musicians and stuff on Twitch, to show Twitch is really good for musicians. Maybe to get record labels involved. Maybe. Nano, how you doing, buddy? Old and frail. Old and frail. It's just cold, and we don't want to put the heaters on. Does that mean Twitch will be more constructive with the DMCA stuff? Well, how would they be more constructive though? So far, they're hurting artists. It's not a Twitch thing though, Fred. DMCA is not a Twitch thing. Twitch just needs to uphold the DMCA requirements. That's all. So I'm not sure how Twitch could be more constructive with DMCA. Not automating would help. It's not really automated from Twitch's side though. I mean, it is, but the DMCA law requires, it doesn't matter it requires the platform to take action immediately. And so you would have to automate that, or you'd have to hire a shit ton of staff to handle it. The way DMCA works, the law works, is as soon as a claim is issued by a label, by a rights owner, or whatever, the platform needs to take action immediately and then investigate after if it's a false claim or whatever. So ultimately, Twitch receives a claim and it has to action immediately. It just, you know, puts a strike against the channel. It's then the investigation afterwards to see if that was a true claim or not. And that's simply the law of the DMCA stuff. You want to know how all DJs handle the DMCA stuff? There's still DJs on Twitch. And yeah, it depends on... There's still people who play DMCA music on their channel. There's still like really big partners who play nothing but DMCA music on the channel. And it's just chance is what they're leaving it up to, whether they get pinged or not. The unfortunate thing is there are some tools that make it very easy to ping you automatically from a label side of things. So you're pretty much just running a chance game. It's a shitty law. It's very outdated, Fred, is the problem. The DMCA law was done in the 90s, before, you know, any vision of any of these sort of spaces online, you know, before Spotify, before music streaming, before, what was it? Napster. All that. It's a super outdated law. It really only applied to radio at the time. Radio and like concerts. There was no way they know anything about it. So technically speaking, the law just needs to be updated. It needs to change and be updated. But, you know, we know how, you know, often that happens. Exactly, Twitchy. Laws are slow to change. Technology not as slow to change. Yeah. Especially if the organization is too large for its own good. The problem you have is... And DMCA just doesn't apply to music either. It applies to video, written, any type of content is the thing. But we see DMCA strikes being done on music because of the music industry. Like, they're very, very greedy the way the music industry is put together. When record labels had control of everything in the music business, when the DMCA law was put together, I mean, they still kind of do, is the thing. And the music industry is quite greedy in getting their share. And when I say greedy, I mean like the labels, the people who own the rights and all this sort of stuff. They're quite greedy in that. That's why we see so many DMCA strikes. But technically, game developers can issue strikes against streamers for playing their game. Billboard, right? I've got Billboard website up. They could DMCA me for showing their website, but it's dumb for them, right? It's the same with game developers. Game developers don't. Some have, But they don't, because it's actually fruitful for us to be playing their games on stream, because it gets their game out there, right? But they could DMCA us. If we showed TV shows or movies or whatever, they could DMCA us, and so forth. Someone's playing DMCA music in front of 3K's viewers. Nothing happens at all. It's just chance, Sam. That's just it. It's just chance. And Gummy Boy, how are you doing, by the way? Happy Monday. There's tools that change the fidelity of streaming audio too. There are ways to trip it. There are ways to try and get around it. But it's like an arms race, I guess you could say, because there's automated tools for labels to use to try and identify the music, and they're constantly being updated to try and pick it up. So it's an arms race. It's chance. You know, it's absolute chance. And I don't know if I'm not willing to risk it myself. So I'm playing DMCA safe music. One of the top 10 streamers goes on chance without Twitch warning. Yeah. Twitch is already, you know, they've got information on the website. They've addressed people. You mean that big streamers have someone talking with them? No, not necessarily, no. No. This is also why Twitch asks 160 bit rate. Is it 160? Whatever it is. Whatever it is. Yeah. Twitchy, you hate Stompy neighbors? Oh, can we swap? Could we swap, please? I'm at my wit's end with my upstairs neighbor. Neighbors. Anyway, yeah, no, the top streamers don't always have someone on Twitch talking to them. The partners technically are meant to have partner managers as well, and the amount of partners I've spoken to, and they're like, nope. No one's ever contacted me or anything. They just get the automated contract when they get accepted into the program. They sign it, and that's it. You know, some of the top ones who have special contracts with Twitch have the regular like meeting. I think it's every 2 years or 3 years or whatever to renew their contract. And even then, they might not have much more contact than that. Go over there and stone them. So anyway, Twitch is doing this. While it's great for musicians, don't get me wrong. And they're probably concentrating on the music industry because, you know, if they get live events and stuff on Twitch, they'll get a bit of revenue and notice and all this sort of stuff. Is great. But I would love to see an incubator program for creatives or something to help creatives, because I think that's a really big untapped area. Fred, yes, they are. It's like been 3 weeks, and yes, they are. You can prevent clips to be created in the live streams unpublished. Doesn't matter. You can be DMCA'd while live. So like clips and VODs put you at much higher risk of being DMCA'd because they're, well, not forever. They're long lasting, right? You're live, say, for 3 hours, but those clips and stuff are up for weeks, or clips never expire. VODs do, but they're up for several weeks. Live, you're only you know, pingable during a small window, but you can still be DMCA live. People have been. Twitch has always gatewayed musicians before this. Yeah, but it's been going on for a couple years. They've been concentrating on the music industry. They've been doing that for a bit, concentrating on musicians and the music industry. I have a feeling it's to try and help with the DMCA situation. But again, the law has to be changed. It's not, you know, you can get the industry on your side, but yeah, you know, moving away from Twitch. Twitch just deletes clips. Had that a week ago. Your VOD just not censored, but the clip got deleted in a finger snap. Did it get reported? I've never heard of clips being deleted unless they get reported, and then they'll get deleted. But usually you get an email or something after that. You can get sync licenses. Yes. The problem with getting licenses, Nano, is I could pay for a license, right, to play whatever label's music on my stream. The only problem is there's no way to tell Twitch that beforehand. There's no way to register with Twitch that I have a license for X. So what could happen is I could still receive a DMCA strike if I was playing that label's music. And once I get the strike, then I hand them the license and go, I actually have a license for that, and they remove the strike. But I would still be suspended for X amount of time until that process is completed. And that's one thing that needs to be changed is some way to register with Twitch that I have a license for X. I use Epidemic Sounds for some music and some music and sounds and stuff. And what you do with Epidemic is you link all your social accounts and your streaming accounts and your video accounts like Twitch and YouTube and Twitter and all this sort of stuff. So that if you use any of their music and they pick it up, they don't DMCA you if they see that it's like one of your linked accounts, so to speak. Twitch needs something like that. But there's nothing in the industry to be able to do that. Like, whether it be on Twitch or whether it be with the label, for example, there's nothing there to like automatically go, nope, don't DMCA him because he's got a license. So it's a big industry thing. Read about when they all started. Twitch deleted all clips with DMCA music? No, they didn't. No, it's the users who did it. Twitch didn't delete clips at all. Twitch ping, like a lot of people got pings because of their clips and stuff. Well, actually, sorry. When you get a DMCA, they remove the clip. That's the thing. But if you, a lot of you streamers deleted their clips when it's all started becoming, a big thing. What was it? 2 years ago now? It's been going on a while. Either way, when there was the DMCA apocalypse, heaps of streamers went out and just wiped all their clips clean. All their clips, all their VODs, all their highlights and stuff. Which was kind of silly. But if you get a DMCA strike, if it's on a clip, the clip gets removed. If it's on a VOD, the VOD gets removed, etc. But that's part of the process as well. That's part of the law. DMCA requires the platform or whatever to remove the content or to stop the content. So if it's a live stream, your live stream gets, shut down. But it's the law requirement, and Twitch just has to do it. They can't help it. It's the law. They have to follow it. In the Netherlands, the cops would resolve such an issue definitively if you cause auditive complaints with music, for example, between 11 in the evening and 7 in the morning, they confiscate the audio set. So with your neighbors, yeah. Yeah. Some places do that. The laws over here in the UK for neighbor noise are so weak. They're so weak. Our upstairs neighbors can make like all the fucking noise they want, right? And not get done for noise problems. But if we bang the ceiling with a broom, we could get done. We could get complaints. There's it's very subjective. The law is like, if the neighbors are making unreasonable noise, it's like, what's unreasonable? There's no definitive like decibel level or like what the noise has to contain or anything. It's just like, if it's unreasonable noise. Like different people are gonna determine what unreasonable is. But if I bang the ceiling with the broom, that's like worse. it's even worse. It's so stupid. That's so weak. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, back in New Zealand, there's like between 11 p.m. and 7 or something like that. If someone's making over a certain decibel amount of noise, then if it's music, they'll have their audio equipment taken away. Otherwise, they can receive fines or whatever. But yeah, over here, it's something really subjective and stupid. Anyway, moving on. YouTube is removing the count of dislikes, which it's to help protect creators' mental health. That's what they say as one of the reasons for it, but it's kind of weird in that they're removing it from the visibility. You as a viewer watching a video on YouTube, there will no longer be a dislike button, but creators can still see it on their dashboard. So it's meant to stop targeted dislike attacks, which we've seen a lot of. But there's also further details about it, helping with mental health and stuff. But if there's no dislike button, people can't dislike. And so there's no point for a creator being able to see it in the dashboard. Maybe the dashboard has been updated to remove it, but I've seen some YouTubers saying, like, I can still see it in my dashboard. So it seems to not really a mental health thing if you can still go to your dashboard and go, 50 million people have disliked my video. The button's still there. Hasn't fully rolled out yet. DRT, there are still videos with it up. Oh, the button's still there, just not the count? Gotcha. It's just, yeah. You can't really say the mental health side of things is a real one when you can still see it in your dashboard. How you doing, DRT? You like the star system they used to have? So it's just star or no stars? I mean, there are some realistic reasons for having the dislike button, right? If you're looking for a tutorial of something, for example, and you find several videos on what you're looking for, and one's got like a large amount of dislikes to it, whereas others don't, you can kind of tell which video is going to be better, right? Because the one with heaps of dislikes might be poor quality, bad information, or whatever. But now if we can't see that, it's kind of hard to determine what's a good video or not. We have to watch it and then figure out if that's good information or not. So there's good reasons for having the dislike button. But yeah, Fred, that's exactly it. To stop them steamrolling dislikes or targeted dislikes, as they say. Targeted dislike attacks, which is fair. Just write dislike in the comment, easy. But then, Nakiri, I have to scroll down and check all the comments, before I watch the video. It just... yeah, if it's still getting likes, yeah. Yeah, so it's there's benefits to it, but they've taken it away to stop targeted dislike attacks, whatever. It's same like Steam reviews, although they've kind of done things to stop the Steam review attacks as well. You wonder who dislikes or likes or dislikes a video anyway? I do. Yeah, likes help gauge quality, but that's what I'm saying is if you can't see the count of dislikes compared to likes, you can't really gauge the quality of something. All right. If it's got 100 likes and 100 dislikes, it's kind of even or whatever. But if you can't see the amount of dislikes to quantify how many likes there are, or to compare about how many likes there are, then it's you can't really gauge it properly. You have to watch the video or look in the comments or whatever, and that's just time consuming. You have one with 16,000 clicks and 7 likes and 1 dislike. Generally speaking, if I enjoy a video, I'll like it. I don't always dislike. I only dislike when it's like actually bad information. or the person's just straight up bullshitting. Sadly, YouTube doesn't really care about like-dislike ratio. It only cares about engagement. I mean, likes help with the algorithm a little bit. They're not heavily weighted that way, though. YouTube protecting themselves from the hate some vids get for commercial interests. I mean, you might be right. Sam, thank you very much for your 2-month resub. Get some love in the channel. Thank you very much for helping the damn ads. Just wait. We'll get to that. There's a something to talk about ads later. But thank you very much, Sam, for the 2-month resub. And hopefully you continue to have ad-free viewing. Where was I going? Isn't the ratio of likes to dislikes still going to be shown though? I don't know, actually, CJ. Mostly like videos, only dislike in extreme cases where the video is misleading or utter trash. Yes, that's essentially it. Because, you know, I've got a big thing about misinformation, right? I don't want other people being misinformed on things. So if there's a crappy video, then I will dislike it. Goku leveled up? What are you talking about, Fred? You mean the alert? That's Chrono. Goku leveled up. Why 4 adverts runs? Don't know. Sometimes it changes the amount of time for adverts. I've noticed. I've had the same thing on other channels as well. Sometimes I'll get 1 advert, then other times I'll get like 3 adverts, and it's just like it's always like 3 of the same advert as well. So annoying. Am I wearing a jacket? It's a fucking hoodie. No, it's actually just a sweatshirt. But it's cold. You only got 1? Yeah, see, it differs with different people. It looks cozy. It is. You know, it's got a big hood. It is cozy, actually. It's just like a sweater, but it's like a cardigan / sweater with a hood, essentially. Twitch is clever, waiting that you write something and wait for an answer, and then the ad hits right at the point. Yes, it does. I was in a channel in the weekend, actually, and I asked a question, and it was like, there was a little bit of a delay, and then the streamer just started to read it. Ad. I was just like, and the video goes up into the top right, but you can't hear it. All you hear is the ad, and I could see them responding to my question, and I couldn't hear a bit of it. It's so annoying. You mute the tab, which is fine, but the streamer was answering my question, but because they were muted and the ad was playing, like muting the tab doesn't help, right? I still couldn't hear them. It was such a pain in the ass. Twitch knows they do. They do. I know, but there's something on ads that we'll get to, especially in regards to subscriptions as well. Twitch is now available on the Switch. Twitch on the Switch. It's like Elf on a Shelf, but now it's Twitch on the Switch. And I've seen some screenshots of people actually watching Twitch on the Switch, and it's actually good quality. So long as you have a good enough internet connection, right? It's still a perk of you being too lazy to cancel Twitch Turbo. If it works. If it does enough as well. Want to hear the answer to your question? Subscribe for improved chance of not getting an ad. I like your thoughts there, CJ. I like your thinking. I like your thinking there, actually. That's a great way to sell your channel. If you want me to respond to chat, you may have to subscribe. Otherwise, you might miss it in an ad. And now, since we can manually run ads, you could be very strategic about this. Not sure if people have heard the drama about Discord, though. Speaking of subscriptions, this time Discord Nitro, though. Have we heard the drama about Discord? You haven't seen it on the Switch? I'm not sure how good it is. I have a Switch. I should download the Twitch app and see how good it is. But I've seen some screenshots and stuff of Twitch being good on the Switch. Typing, though, in chat could be quite quite the hassle. You've heard nothing? Okay. Okay. So, Discord. This tweet... Wow. This tweet came out last week. Imagine a place built for gamers, home to everyone playing the great online game, has 150 million MAUs, generates 130 million, blah, blah, blah. I teamed up with Discord. We imagine the possibility. Blah, blah, blah. You know, this tweet. And then this one. Then this one as a reply. Probably nothing. Million active users, I think it is. Twitchy. No Twitch chat on the Switch. To see that in chat, you have to sync it with your phone. Okay, so it's just for viewing purposes. So yeah, this probably nothing, but you can see the connections tab on Discord, and you've got the Ethereum logo with MetaMask Wallet Connect. So Discord and crypto, right? Not confirmed, but the person saying probably nothing. And this exploded. Absolutely fucking exploded. As you can see, 6,700 quote tweets, like none of which were positive. So he's the CEO of Discord. You didn't know him. This exploded, but not in the way they wanted. I never saw a positive thing about this. But it exploded, and heaps of people are like, I don't want crypto involved with Discord. You know, crypto's a scam, all this sort of stuff. And it's just hugely bad receptive. Devs always put very specific logos in their software for no reason. Well, as a mock-up, you know, internally when you're doing like, you know, ideas or development stuff, CJ, you can do mock-ups. Especially when you're doing presentations like, this is what it could look like, that sort of stuff. And it almost looks like that's what this was. Yeah, 100% backlash. 100% backlash on this. And as part of that, huge, like, swaths of people have unsubscribed from Discord Nitro. It's resulted in, I saw some numbers, but they're not confirmed. Just, like, I think it was a 20 to 30% drop in Discord Nitro subscribers because of it. But again, it's not confirmed or anything. So as you can imagine, that didn't go well for Discord. And the thing is, they've now backtracked on it. So later, thanks for all the perspectives. We have no current plans to ship this internal concept. For now, we've focused on protecting users from spam, scams, and frauds. And yeah, I canceled my Nitro, and judging by all the other replies and the hundreds of downvotes on this feature on your feedback forum, lots of others too. Discord needs to stay the heck away from any of the crypto BS. Reddit has so many crypto ads. When you used it, but you didn't want targeted ads. Merriam-Webster dictionary app too? You sure you're not saving it because of like cookies and stuff? Twitchy, maybe? Yeah, we had them until all the negative opinions. Yeah. Yeah. And no current plans. You had some future plans, and now you've pulled those back. So yeah, they walked back plans to integrate it. NFTs still, you do your head in. There's no resale value. It's the definition of a bubble. Oh yeah. I could talk about the bullshit of NFTs for a while. Someone described it really well, actually, not too long ago. Was it's hot potato. The current like JPEG NFT craze is hot potato. Yes, you can make money in it, but you don't want to be the one holding it at the end, because you're the one that's gonna be left with the bag, and it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So yeah, there's this thread here. Discord walked back plans to integrate ETH-based NFTs after overwhelming negative user feedback. Encourage everyone to read the comments before understanding the other side. So naysayers are anti-NFTers because of the environmental concerns, believe they are scams. You know, isn't entirely wrong. And this is very true. Well, the comments on this are interesting, right? The communities, crypto and gaming, are passionate about their beliefs, but separate. And this is a reminder of just how much so. Yes, yes and no. I had a long conversation on Twitter about someone who who says, what was it? NFTs are the future of gaming, which I don't believe at all. We had this little bit of an argument, and he got very insulting trying to make his point, but he couldn't actually make the point. Here's the thing. He just believes NFTs are the future of gaming. And I'm like, well, how? Why? And he couldn't define that. But there are people like that anyway. But yeah, gaming and crypto, they are very separate. And there's people on either edge saying it does work. You read a book about the tulip bubble? Yes. Yes. Same ideas until one day someone just said, they're just fucking flowers. Yep. And the thing with the NFT side of things, Daddy, is there's heaps of people yelling at them going, they're just fucking JPEGs. But even then, you don't even own the JPEG. You own a receipt for the JPEG, but you don't actually have ownership rights of the image itself. So it's really messed up. You're paying for a receipt, ultimately, that doesn't give you any rights or special ownership or anything. And you just resell on that receipt. And yeah, it's gonna burst, and there's gonna be people who are losing out a lot of money. But at the moment, it's working really well for money launderers. So, you know, play to earn. Yeah, don't get me started now. Cannot be exchanged for goods or services. No, you have to sell it on to someone else who believes there's worth in it. But there's really not. My favorite streamer who sold a picture for $100,000. Is it an NFT or just a picture? It's either way. But in the end, you're not even selling the picture itself. You're selling a receipt for the picture. So they have no ownership over the picture. It's really stupid. It's really stupid. Anyway. Where are we going with this? Part of the discussion that I had with this person on Twitter, how they said NFTs were the future of gaming. When asked again by an actual game developer, like, how do you even envision this being part of gaming? And they said, oh, imagine you grinding for like a really special sword in one game, and you can then take that to another game and use it over there. Like, you've got ownership of that sword. You can then take it to other games. And multiple game devs have come out and gone, we can do that anyway without NFTs. But no one does, because you have to get like multiple game dev studios talking to each other, agreeing on same file formats, the same shaders, because you don't want the sword looking great in this game and looking shit in another game. And like, in what if game A, where you've got the sword in your inventory, all of a sudden decides, yeah, we're not going to continue this game anymore. The servers are going to shut down. What then? You've lost the sword that you've grinded for. So to do away with that, you need a central server that says what your inventory is, and that destroys the whole decentralization idea of crypto and NFTs as it is. It's like, we can do it. It's just no one does because it's a giant pain in the dick. And you'd still have to do that with NFTs. You saw a tweet about this that has over 21,000 likes. Just screenshot someone's art and then sell that to someone else. That's literally what people are doing, Twitchy. It's literally what some people are doing. And Kiwi, you can be pro crypto, and don't get me wrong, the blockchain technology has its actual uses, right? It has actual uses in many industries. For example, food, for one. The, what do you call it, provenance of anything can be managed through blockchain. Cryptocurrency, there's a lot of scams going on because it's unregulated, right? Rug pulls and all sorts of stuff that needs to be sorted out. The currency side of things, otherwise, you know, you can use it. NFTs, though, at the moment are just, like I say, you can make a lot of money, but it is hot potato. And there's going to be a lot of people that end up losing a lot of money in regards to how NFTs are currently being used. You can use Bitcoin to buy stuff in some places. Yeah. In other cryptos and stuff as well. The currency side of things, so long as it's not environmentally damaging, which a lot of it is at the moment. Yeah, sure. It's also the environmental impact that annoys me as well. If you manage to fix that, then, you know, do whatever you want. But the NFT stuff's still very scammy. And yeah, the problem is it's unregulated, so people are taking advantage, and there's a lot of that. Take one. Thanks. Just a second. Quick, easy money scam. Fuck environment. It's kind of what people are doing with it. There are legitimate uses for it. Don't get me wrong. There are legitimate uses. NFT stuff, the way NFTs are currently being implemented is very scammy. People are making money, sure, but there's going to be people who lose money as well, and it's all very, what's the term for it? It's perceived value. It's perceived value. That's all it is. Oh, you know, you've got this NFT image that you bought for 100K. Well, if I buy it for 100K, I could sell it on for 120. You know, there's a lot of money making motivation out of it. But there are going to be people who have bought like 6 NFTs, the bubble bursts, and they've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars for nothing. You have no issue with cryptocurrency as a concept. You have major issues with how they're currently implemented. Yes. Kind of yeah, Denalian. Absolutely. That's kind of my same mindset. If you want to use it, go for it. But there's going to be people who lose out because of it. People are feeling the pinch after the pandemic and are pinning their hopes on future fortunes, on new things. That's very true. Yeah. It's very true. The US. The US is looking to bring in a law that says, I'm trying to remember the details. If you sell an NFT, you need to know the like ID of the person you're selling it to. And you also need to register the earnings you get from it as tax as well. So it, in one fell swoop, it ultimately does away with all the benefit of NFTs, because NFTs are on the blockchain and it's all meant to be anonymous, right? Unregulated, anonymous, and all that sort of stuff. But as soon as you have to start identifying yourself, if you're buying an NFT, it like completely undoes the whole purpose of it. The environmental impact is indefensible at the moment. Yeah. Like I say, if it didn't impact the environment, do whatever you want. You know, I'll just ignore the subject altogether. But the environmental impact is what actually really annoys me. And, you know, you can be unregulated and whatnot. Do it over there. I'm not going to get involved. Whatever. But yeah. Screw the environment. Then I'm going to get angry. The problem with energy use is fossil fuels, not what you spend it on. Well, yes, no, Kiwi. Yes and no. There's still large countries and large portions of fossil fuels being used for electricity generation, and crypto increases the load, which means more has to be used. So it's got a negative impact. Sure, if we all had, say, fusion and we didn't have to worry about that load, sure. If all energy was clean, sure. Yeah, then we wouldn't have a problem. But until energy is clean, then we have a problem, right? We don't want to put unnecessary load. But here we are. Until then. Anyway, moving on. Anyway, Discord put out this little like tease, and it's done really bad. It's done really, really bad for Discord. Like I say, there's no confirmed numbers about how many people unsubscribed from Nitro, but a lot did. And they just got a lot of really bad press about it. You can stop cryptocurrency tomorrow. We wouldn't be any closer to stopping climate change. Sure, but we're not making it worse either. Yes, but we're not making it worse. You know, so it's not solving it either, is my point. Any incentive to sustain it is bad? Yeah. Yeah. All right. So remember our little conversation about subs and ads? There seems to be something up. Some subscribers are still getting ads on Twitch. Now, anyone here in the channel, if you're subscribed and you're still getting ads, I want to know. But there's been a few other people talking about it, including Mono here, who has a great little video. Let me try and stop this music for a second. All right. So on his stream, subscribers were saying that they were receiving ads.
Keeping me going. I'm getting an ad on my own channel.
He goes to his own channel on Twitch and he gets an ad, which shouldn't happen. Maybe future Turbo subscriptions. So soon you have to be subscribed and have Twitch Turbo. No, that's not a serious thing, by the way.
Hang on, let's watch it. Let's watch this again.
And we'll see it in double version. Yeah, you shouldn't get ads on your own channel. Which is messed up. But yeah, like I say, subscribers, it's not just in his channel as well, but some subscribers are saying they're still getting ads on channel they're subscribed to. So yeah, if you're subscribed in this channel and you get an ad, I want to know about it. We could test it. Mega subscription. Soon it'll be like tier 2 and up only. Gets it, right? Let's just see if we get an ad in our own channel. We'll have to get tier 2 and up to get no ads. All right, we'll let it play for a second when it actually fucking loads. All right, I'm not getting an ad. Yeah, I'm not getting an ad, so that's fine. Now we're just in like streamception here. How far will it go? How far will it go? Just keep watching. Medium-sized country, energy usage stopping isn't nothing. The worry is the massive increase in energy used for crypto and similar. Yes. Yes. Now imagine how big the gaming industry is. Right. You know, you've got people around the globe doing cryptocurrency, NFTs and stuff. But what about the gaming industry? And then we add NFT on top. You got then even more increase in the blockchain having to manage that. It's even more. It's what do you call it? A perpetual, but it's not linear. You know, it'll ramp up really quick, and that's what we need to avoid. So yeah, I'm not getting ads. Delay between all me is doing your head. Well, there you go. Okay. Anyway, subs with ads. Let me know if you get it. I haven't heard of many people that I know getting it, but I have seen a few people talking about this. So it might be a test. It might be an issue, but it shouldn't be happening either way. It shouldn't be happening either way. On top of that, a number of streamers have not been paid right. So it's been today is payout day on Twitch. If you're a streamer yourself, The 15th is payout day if you've received enough revenue to warrant a payout, which is $100. But for some reason, we got paid last week. I think it was Thursday. Got paid, which is early. You got one mentioned that said this is a gift sub, which might affect matters. Gift sub shouldn't affect, right? Gift sub shouldn't affect it at all. That's one of the perks of being subbed, whether it be a gift sub or a self sub, is that you don't get ads. So when did you get one? Was it today? Yeah, gift subs still block ads. In regards to the payout stuff, I have a suspicion as to why this is happening. But what's happened is we got paid early, those who qualified anyway. But some streamers have been paid far less than what they should have. Now, here's an example. Although, actually, no, that doesn't count because they showed the wrong screenshot. With the pay incentive because of the local sub pricing, long story short, if you meet a certain set of hours requirements, Twitch tops up your pay to account for the local sub pricing changes that they did a while ago. So in your dashboard, if you hit that amount of hours and say you don't make the revenue, Twitch pays you the average that you were earning back at a certain time. Now, every 3 months, that amount drops. And this is like our first 3-month period, I believe, where it drops down. The pay that we just got is the first lowering amount. Now, that's fine. You can see what that amount is in your dashboard. But the thing is, a number of streamers have been paid far less than that. Or, if you do earn enough revenue above that little top-up that Twitch gives you, you just get paid out whatever that is. I know of one streamer in particular who has been paid near $300 less than what they should have. They showed me their dashboard where it showed their revenue for the month, and then they showed what their payout was, and it's almost $300 difference. There's no reason why that should be there, like why it should be that different. And there's a couple other people responding to Zach here who are showing the differences, and they're like considerable amounts of money. Now, you can have slight differences because of the fees that Twitch charges, currency conversions, all this sort of stuff. And it's like, $5 to $10, or like what Zach said here, $10 to $20. But when it's like $300, the problem is trying to get support on this. I've seen people struggle where their payout has been messed up for whatever reason, and trying to get support from Twitch on this is really difficult. And Twitch isn't going to do like a, if it's a problem on Twitch's side, they're not going to do like our bad, we're going to give you the rest or whatever it is next week. They don't do that. How they're going to compensate for that is going to be interesting. I think it's got something to do with the change in that top up that we're getting, because this is the first month where it's actually lowered. I have a feeling it's gonna be something to do with that, and it's gonna be some miscalculation or something somewhere. But thankfully, I wasn't paid less. Mine was actually pretty much on the ball. So it's weird that only certain people are getting it and not, and others aren't. Maybe you're hoping Daddy Amazon notices you and gives you a job. Not one of the warehouse jobs, though. I mean, I've been applying for jobs at Twitch. Actually, I applied for a job at Twitch 2 months ago, and I haven't heard a thing from them about it. You had a payment from Twitch last week for $76. Is that part of the local sub pricing difference, CJ? The incentive scheme? Talking about ads and wanted to hear what you were saying in ad. See, they know. Another confirmed thing. They know when you want to hear something and they give you an ad. Gummy Boy, essentially, you shouldn't get ads if you're subbed. Doesn't matter if it's gifted, if it's a prime, whatever tier it is. If you have a sub to a channel, you should not be receiving ads for that channel. Simply put, that's it. Theory confirmed. We've had it multiple times now. So yeah, there's something happening with Twitch Pay. Thankfully, I didn't get affected. It must be over a certain threshold where it is, but yeah, I've seen evidence from someone I know who's considerably been left out. $300 is a fucking lot. Like, I would be pissed. You can have slight differences, like I say, but I would be pissed. Here we go. Rough estimate, on my dashboard, I earned a little over $600, but was only paid $490. Will have been covered by it. Last payment was in September. Processed yours too soon? Well, it seems we all got paid last week, CJ, which was early. And that's like, we should be paid today. Maybe because it was a week. I don't know. But either way, we got paid early. But the amount that you got paid is a bit interesting. Because $100 is the threshold. That's $76 and not 76 pounds, right? What I found with going through the comments for this, because it is quite an interesting subject, is there's so many people who don't understand how to calculate their revenue from Twitch. And the way they do it is they take what you earn from the first of the month to the last day of the month. Whatever that month is, it's the first to the last day, right? And then if you've made $100 within that window or more, you get paid out on the 15th day after that. So the middle of the month after that. So say for June, 1st of June to the last day of June, if I earned $100, I get paid out mid-July for whatever was June, right? But the amount of people who don't calculate this right, they go to the dashboard and they go, okay, I was last paid out on the 15th, so I'm going to calculate it from the 16th of July to, you know, the 16th of August. And it's like, no, it's the first to the last day. They spell this out on the website, but the amount of people who read. And yeah, Barbie, this thread shows, yeah, the people don't understand payouts, 100%. So I responded to one. Yeah, it's a good bit different too. Total estimated revenue and what they got paid out. Well, your total estimated revenue. And I responded to them, and they haven't responded to me because this no doubt doesn't cover the local subpricing difference, right? Because of the local subpricing incentive, if they hit the hours they needed to stream in a month, this could have been their baseline that they get paid out by Twitch. Whereas their actual revenue would have been this. But they haven't shown the right screenshots here. And I asked, but they haven't responded. You looked at your dashboard and the sub of yesterday is not even counted there in the stream summary. Was it a resub, Sam? But yeah, Barbie, this thread was quite, it was quite frustrating to read. And just seeing the people responding, it's like, I think it was most don't know how to calculate it. So here we go. Okay, see, this person's calculated it wrong. Resubs don't count in that summary, no. No, it's only new subs. This person's calculated it from October 15th to November 10th. That's not right. And so the 339, then their payout is what? 137. Yeah, they calculated it wrong. You only read a little bit of before, but yeah. Yeah, same Barbie. It was really, really frustrating to go through. Mine said 162 on estimate back early October, and then 98 showed up. Then November, 150. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt you're calculating that wrong. I'm trying to find someone who actually knows what they're talking about here. Missing 140 this month, that doesn't really matter. Like, show some evidence. First day, last day of the month makes sense. Yeah. But because you don't get paid out until the middle of the following month, Twitchy, people think that's when it was calculated up to. It was like the 15th of July, for example. It's like they think it's the 15th to the 15th every payday, but it's like it's not. It's what they call it, pay 15 or whatever they call it. So it's first of the month to the last of the month. All right, and you can edit your dashboard to pick those dates. If you hit $100, then 15 days later you can look forward to being paid that out. But it doesn't. The 15 days of that next month is not included in it. So it's always the first of the last, first of the last, first of the last, so forth. If you didn't receive a payout, you can take it back even further. So for example, in June, from the 1st of June to the last day of June, say I don't make $100, so I don't get a payout mid-July. Well, then come the end of July, I can look at the 1st of June to the last day of July and see what my accumulated amount will be, and that will be what I get paid out. It's a bit random to get paid on the 15th. It's a common pay cycle thing. Resubs don't count in the summary? No, but also no revenue is in the list. In the revenue table, how it breaks out between how many tier 1 subs and prime subs and all that, yes, it should be there, Sam. Maybe they refunded it. Maybe they refunded. There's a reason you don't do social media in general. I don't blame you, friend. You got a letter saying you got $2.5 million from an agrarian prince. Cost you $500 in stream coaching fees. Yeah. Yep. But yeah, the pay 15, it used to be 45 days that you'd get paid out. And some things still are 45 days being paid out. There's a certain survey thing that I've signed up to with Twitch, right? And not many people are signed up to it, but every now and then I'll get an invite to a survey, and it's usually product related or advertising related on the Twitch platform. And for answering the questions, I usually get given like 100 bits, for example. And it takes 45 days for those bits to show up in my account. He's a personally known friend. Need to have a talk with him? Yeah, could have refunded it. Anyway, so yeah, there's a bit of a weird pay thing going on here, and like I say, there's a number of people who have responded with legitimate pay differences. And the person I know who sent me screenshots, they had chosen the right dates and everything. It was the right calculation, and they're still missing about $300. I have to say, looking at this thread, I very much worry for Zach's DMs. The amount of people that are probably DMing him with the wrong information or they've calculated it incorrectly. I feel sorry for him. What would you know since you don't have a job? You can't wait to become a real adult. Well, Twitchy, in most cases, you get paid out monthly at most jobs, and you get paid out on like, it's either the middle of the month or the end of the month. It's usually end of the month, but you don't have to wait 15 days for your pay, if that makes sense. It'll just be every month, you get paid, or weekly or fortnightly, however often it is you get paid. You don't have to wait 15 days on top of the month that you work, so to speak. But that's just how this stuff works. Yeah, how it works. The alternative is, I think Glimesh pays out monthly regardless. There's no threshold for Glimesh paying out, but I think it's monthly. I mean, in a way, you're still getting paid. Monthly from Twitch, so long as you meet the threshold every month, right? You're still getting paid monthly. It's just the 15th of every month. But yeah, if you miss a payday, then yes, it's like a month and a half. Speaking of Glimesh, there was an update which I haven't included here. Let me try and find it. Because I thought the update was kind of surprising. After we looked at them, what was it, last week? Now I have to try and find the update. This is a different update. They had a very big spike. That's after we last looked at them too. Speaking of Glimesh, yeah, nice segue, right? That was the day after we looked at them, and they've had this huge spike of traffic. Interesting. What is Glimesh? It's another live streaming site, Fred. They're trying to be competition for Twitch. It's not had great success. They're actually losing money at the moment. So anyway, after we looked at them last week, they've now done this update where they're now giving 60% to streamers of revenue. It used to be 50. When they first launched, it was 50-50, just like it is on Twitch. And people are like, if you're not competitive in payment, like no one's gonna care. Well, they're now updated it. It's now 60%. And give this little chart as to what goes where. So a sub comes in, that's $5. $3 goes to the streamer. $2 goes to the platform, and this is how they kind of break it out. Servers and bandwidth being the majority of it. And yeah, that's about it. You wanted to root for them? I mean, yeah, I competition's great. Right? Competition's great. Twitch needs competition, but it needs real competition. And what we've seen on Glimesh is not competition, right? If we segue to doing our Glimesh check that we sometimes do, we've got more channels than we did last week, right? There was like 3 gaming channels. We've now got 7 gaming channels. So there's more. No art. Another 24/7 music channel, which is the one from last time. Same exact tech channels, which are not really tech channels. One IRL, which just looks like, you know, recycled content, which we've seen before. And an education one. 3D printing and chilling. Okay. We have more live streams than we did last week. We still don't have... Wait, what is this? This is September. Was it September we were waiting for? Published in September. No, we won the next month. In September, they made a loss, right? Of almost $300. They went from $4,000 profit, and they're now making a loss. So we're waiting on further months to see what's happening there. This is after paying out creators and everything like that. So interesting, they're now giving more money to creators when they're not making any money themselves. Sometimes you want to root for the underdog, even though the dog is not that smart or pretty. It's true. It's true. Personal opinion, but Glimesh is ugly. And we saw why last week, right? We saw why. If we go back, we pick a random channel. Like, this whole graphic behind chat. This whole graphic behind chat choice just... It's so ugly. This isn't as bad as the other ones we've seen as well, remember. The being able to choose your own custom graphic that sits behind chat. That's the default one. Let's try and pick that. That's the default one as well. I mean, the default's probably the nicest of some of the ones we've seen. Default. The annoying thing is this changes all the time. Oh, that's the one we saw before. Default. I'm trying to pick a different one here. Default. Okay, that's better. Just have black. It's like a black starry field But that's better than the ugly designs that we've seen in the past because it's so distracting. I'm just trying to find a different channel. I think we've checked them all now, haven't we? Yeah, it's default as well. So it's not so bad. We have seen worse, though. You need Microsoft to buy you a streamer to have any chance? But that didn't work out so well, did it, Fred? It's so distracting. It is, right, Barbie? We've seen some really disgusting ones that make chat really hard to read because of the image that the streamer chooses to have behind chat. It's weird design choice, to be honest. Yes, Microsoft had Mixer. They paid Ninja and Shroud to move over to Mixer. That didn't do so well, did it? It did really well for Ninja and Shroud. They made millions out of it. Not so well for the platform. It is, yes, Barbie. It's chosen by the broadcaster. Yeah. Don't know a lot about Mixer. It was a Microsoft platform. There was potential, but as Microsoft always does, you know, they buy something and they don't put any attention into it. They then think, oh, if we just throw a lot of money at people, that'll convince them, and it didn't. And they closed doors. Yeah, and that was pretty much it. That was gross. What's that? What's that, call me? Paying Ninja and Shroud, or how much they made out of it. And yeah, Barbie, it's chosen by the broadcaster, and it's probably them having no idea. You're right. I still don't like the chat makeup. I still find it really distracting just the way it's formatted myself. Personal opinion. Personal opinion. It was good for just a bit. They just couldn't get the traction. Right? Mixer just couldn't get the people over to it is the only thing. Facebook keeps trying to get you to watch their live stuff. Yeah, I keep... Even though I haven't used my Facebook account in... Don't know how long. I keep getting things of like, oh, this person's gone live. I don't care. I'm not going to watch it. But they seem to think you want to watch unusual stuff. Should I ask? Should I ask? Oh, it was good for just a bit of the background. Ugh. Yeah, I mean, some of the backgrounds are okay, but some of the choices that streamers put in the background for chat on Glimesh is just really weird. But yeah, the roadmap and stuff for Glimesh is really weird, and it doesn't look super promising. But it'll be interesting to see how they go anyway. Facebook has live stuff. Yes, they do, Fred. Facebook Gaming is what it's called. You're only allowed to stream gaming. You're not allowed to stream non-gaming content. And they have various incentive schemes at the moment to try and win people over, but it's still Facebook. YouTube tries to make you watch shorts. Interesting. Mostly involving Asian ladies in skimpy tops. Selling things. Probably based on cookies. Probably based on cookies. Where are we going? So yeah, other platforms have different payment schemes. Glimesh say they pay out right away. No, I think it's every month. Sorry. Did they say? There's other platforms that pay out right away. So Coffee, for example, people can subscribe to my Coffee every month, and I get the payment immediately from each individual subscription. What was it? Patreon that I was using originally, people can subscribe monthly, and I could choose when to have it withdraw, so I could have it in a lump sum. What are others doing? YouTube is monthly, I believe. So yeah, each platform's got their own different sort of payout schemes. Welcome back, Violet. Not going to Facebook, not worried. You cannot claim sanity, but you claim more sanity than that. Yeah. Some people are saying they love Facebook, but it's not my type of format. Not my type of format. And as we saw, was it 2 weeks ago, we looked at the streaming report for the industry from Streamlabs. And there's some math that isn't working out right. The amount of streamers on Facebook has dipped sharply. The amount of streamed hours has dipped sharply. But yet they're saying the amount of watched hours on Facebook is constantly like on this huge rise. It doesn't check out. I don't know how they're calculating that. Either way. Yeah, welcome back, Violet. Hopefully the workout was well. Remember the Twitch data leak that happened not too long ago? Well, even I said it at first, but I said when we saw that some of the revenue information was leaked showing what streamers earned, I thought it was the top 1,000, which is what some people were saying, was it was the top 1,000 streamers whose revenue was shared. It turns out it was actually every streamer. Any streamer who's earned money, their information was shared. It just showed revenue total against a name, so it's not too much information. It's not private information or anything. So people have been doing some interesting breakdowns of it, just to show who's earning what. This little graph comes out, and what's the information? Half of all streamers who earned payouts had made less than $28 as of September this year. $28. So down the bottom of the graph, you've got dollar value. And this is based over the year. Revenue by user in 2021 up to September. $1,000 is a small proportion of streamers. Very tiny proportion of streamers. Has to be the usual Facebook fudge. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, CJ. I can't find any other way around it other than that. Seems accurate as how much effort you see people put into it. Yeah, agreed, Violet. So this has coincided with an article. This has coincided with an article to say, like, streaming's hard is ultimately it. Like, streamers actually don't make that much money, which we kind of knew, but the data leak kind of highlighted how little streamers actually make. Nano, we'll catch you later. Thank you very much for hanging out. Is it wrong that seeing this sometimes actually makes you feel better? I don't think so, Army. I don't think so. I won't say how much, but I'll admit I don't make a lot of money from Twitch at all. Like, I don't make enough to pay bills or anything. And not all the bills anyway. But I'm still in this very small proportion of streamers who has made over $1,000 this year. Like, the majority don't even make that. And yet, the amount within this section here who are demanding that Twitch provide them with a better revenue share. But you're not bringing any value to the platform. There are a lot of streamers with very few viewers. Majority have very few viewers. Kiwi. Majority have very few viewers. If we go to... I don't know if he's put another one out yet. I don't think so. Trying to think of his name now. You're talking 1 to 2 viewers? Yeah, roundabout. Let's see if I can find the tweet. Here we go. If we go for 5 streams or more, right? To date, this is what, Q3? Q3. So this coincides with the payment, right? This coincides with this graph here, Q3 up to September roundabout. Streamers for these stats had to have streamed 5 times or more, and essentially if you're getting a payout of any kind, you're streaming more than 5 times over a 9-month period, right? You also believe if you have more than 10 viewers, you're in like the top something? Yes. If you have more than 10 average viewers, you're in the like top 1% of streamers. Yes. And here we go. So require 4 or 5 more streams. You have, now this isn't viewership. This is just how many there are. Partners, There's 34,500 partners who have streamed more than 5 times in 9 months. That's 0.7% of streamers in total that have streamed more than 5 times. Just over 1 million are affiliates. Now, these are the only ones who are actually earning any money. The 3.6 million, 76% of streamers who have streamed more than 5 times are not even earning any money. So we could take this and what? This is 1.1 million combined. 1.1 million. And only this small proportion are making more than $1,000 a year. This, and what we've got, how many? That's like 25,000. Made 1,000 or more. You love us called plebs, yeah. Seems similar to our expectations, essentially. Imagine being a pleb. Just let's not. Although, encapsulated in the pleb stats, there are a few who choose not to be affiliate, but they have the numbers to be affiliate. Similarly, there are some who have the numbers to be partners, but are not. But that's a very, very, very small percentage. So it's negligible. But yeah, we've got 1.1 million actually earning money via the Twitch platform. And out of that, you've got a tiny proportion who are actually earning anything really remotely worthwhile. We've got, what was it? This is $1 and $10. So we're looking at $5. Over 100,000 streamers have only earned $5 in like a 9-month period. It's what? 2 subs? 2 subs? A few bits? 500 bits? It's not a lot. Not a lot. Almost 200,000 are earning, what did you say that was? Maybe $50? This is active users. This is revenue earned in 2021 year. So yeah, this would be active users. How much total users earning this amount of money in 2021. Thank you for the shout out, Twitchy. So there's a lot that are barely earning anything. Which is kind of as expected, to be fair. And like the status said, half of all streamers who earn payouts made less than $28 as of September. They're not even getting payouts because they're not earning the $100 threshold. You were last streaming ASMR? What were we doing there? What were we streaming? Audio ASMR? Oh, that's tonight. Gotcha. So you said, okay, you set it up. So what are you doing then? Is the question. But yeah, anyway, this shows how little money people actually make, right? If you think about what's the average salary in the US? Over here in the UK, the average salary is like £28,000. We have to convert this to US, unfortunately, the way it does it. If we go, how many are affiliate just for emotes? A lot. A lot. Can you let me type? Thank you. 28,000 pound to US dollars. 37,500 US, right? 37,500 US. If we go back here, look at this chart. That's $10,000. I guess we'd be looking at 20-odd thousand because it's only 9 months out of the 12. You'd be looking somewhere here, right, for the average wage in the UK. And how few there are who are actually making a living off of that. Could some of them be non-streamers who have 1 or 2 subs still remaining? Yeah, could be, probably. Yeah. Doing a Spyro the Dragon onesie ASMR stream. Wow. Nice. And it's for a charity milestone, so that's very nice. Congratulations. Emotes is the only reason you'd go for affiliate if you streamed. Earning money complicates things for us. Yeah, so when I originally started streaming Dominion, I couldn't earn money off Twitch, technically speaking. So, yeah, I understand that. So emotes are helpful. And yeah, some people have just become affiliate just to get emotes for themselves. But this is people who have actually earned money, I guess, is probably the main thing for this graph. If we go back to this one, sure, maybe some of the affiliates here are ones who just gained affiliate to get emotes, but it doesn't mean they're active still, or they're not counted in this still. If we go back up, for example, there's what? 2.3 million, sorry, not 2,300, 2.3 million affiliates, active affiliates on Twitch. But there's only 1 million who are still streaming. So yeah, a large portion of those will be those who hit affiliate, they've either quit or they've just become affiliate to get emotes and they no longer stream anymore, so on and so on. Similarly, there's 60,000 partners active on Twitch, but only 34,500 who streamed more than 5 times this year. You need to unsub to people that don't stream anymore? Yeah. You're just burning up money otherwise. You're so used to using their emotes? It's a tough one then, isn't it? Aren't partners contractually obligated? Only those with special contracts. You're not all partners. Only those with special contracts. So Tim the Tatman, for example, when he was on Twitch anyway, he had a specific contract that Dr. Lupo as well, that required about 200 hours a month. 200 hours a month, is that right? Yeah, 200 hours a month. But partners in general, no. No. I've looked through a partner contract for a new partner, and it's like, there's really not much different to affiliate. 200 hours is way too much. Part of the reason why both Dr. Lupo and Tim the Tatman moved to YouTube, because over at YouTube, I think it's 100 hours they're required to do a month. So it's like a part-time job. Never land anything ever. Yeah, don't Twitch me. So yeah, anyway, this highlighted how little many streamers are actually making. We kind of knew this was the case, but this shows like really, really how little. They haven't broken this down by partners or anything. It would be interesting to see that. Maybe we'll get that later, but this is sort of a quick breakdown. So like, for example, majority, if we follow that line up, the graph is mediocre at best, but we won't go into that. If you follow the 100 line up, that's where you get a payout. All this, which is the majority, I'd say, have never even received enough to get a payout throughout the year. So they're all going to be affiliates, and stuff. Friends subbing to friends for emotes, that sort of thing. That 1,000 includes special contracts where Twitch pays the streamer a base amount per month for streaming in certain categories. That's a good point. Don't know. This is just based off the data leak info mirror, which just showed a revenue total. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, streamers aren't earning much. We knew this. Only the very top. Only the very top are earning any sort of considerable living wage. Like I said, the living wage is about here. You can see how few are actually making that. And this is the importance of diversifying. All right, so that you're not just relying on Twitch platform, because remember, this is just Twitch revenue. People could have subs on Coffee, Patreon, merch sales, direct donations, all this sort of stuff. That would bump the revenue number up. But this is just Twitch revenue. And this is part of the reason you should not have all your revenue in one bucket. Have to consider the time investment in preparing content as well as time actually live on over a month. Oh, for sure, CJ. So for those streamers who are required to stream 200 hours a month, yeah, that doesn't consider all the time, in planning content and organizing content and stuff. So that was crazy hours for those guys. And exactly, you then go to YouTube, which requires 100 hours for their special contracts, right? It's not a requirement for all YouTube streamers. 100 hours is then a part-time job. So you've got all that free time to then spend planning your content and stuff, which would then bump it up to a full-time job, and you're not doing crazy hours. Kind of sad to see that even as inconsistent as the health issue made you're still in the upper half. Yeah. Yeah, right, DRT? As a revenue for a big company, how is what Twitch gets out of it compared to similar companies? Good question. But then Twitch gets much more out of ads, for example. So streamers get like cents on the a couple cents per dollar on ads, whereas Twitch gets a majority of it. I don't know what the exact breakdown is. This is just what the streamers are actually earning. So you'd effectively double it if it's just sub revenue. You're no longer here, but from what you're told, other platforms need more prep time compared to screen time. Some do, yeah. Maybe. YouTube's got a bit of a convoluted method for setting up a live stream, because you don't have to. Put in a thumbnail, which requires, creating a thumbnail, the description and all this sort of stuff. There's ways you can help streamline that and automate it so it doesn't take too much time. It's the same as setting up YouTube, really. Twitch, sorry. You got to set up the title and all this sort of stuff as well. It may be slightly longer for YouTube, but I wouldn't say considerably longer. I don't know about Facebook. I wouldn't think it's that much more, to be honest. But yeah, YouTube's not exceptionally more. Once you've got it down to a habit as well, it wouldn't be too much of an issue, I would imagine. Just what you're told? Yeah. Fair enough. Like, I haven't done a YouTube stream. Not yet anyway. But I've looked at some of the stuff to preparing one. And yes, there's more time involved. You also, before you can do your first live stream on YouTube, you have to activate live streams on YouTube. And then it's 24-hour wait until you can actually live stream. So you can't just jump on YouTube and go, I'm going to live stream now. You have to activate it and then wait a day, and then you can do it. It was a pain. You did it for work? Yeah. There's ways apparently for streamlining it. No spontaneous YouTube streams? Then no. No. Which is maybe a good thing. I don't know why they have it, but it's maybe a good thing. It might stop spam. Spam accounts being created that then stream questionable content, sort of stuff, like what can happen on Twitch. Although now on Twitch you have to verify before you can stream. You also have to have two-factor enabled before you can stream on Twitch now, which is probably the same sort of curb that they're trying to do with the 24-hour wait time. Because, signing up a troll account, wanting to broadcast some questionable content, and you have to wait 24 hours? I'm bored now. Making a video for YouTube, filming footage, editing it, maybe add a voiceover, that's going to be considerable extra time? Oh yeah, for sure. But you don't have to do that for a YouTube live stream anyway. An hour would prevent that? Yeah. Yeah, it would. But let's make it 24 just to be sure, right? Yeah, it could be the reason why they do that. I don't know. Anyway, streamers aren't making much money. We already knew it, but this just shows how few are actually making considerable money, at least through the Twitch platform. Some make considerable money off other platforms. I know a couple streamers individually who have converted a majority of their Twitch subs over to Coffee, and now they're making considerably more over there for the same amount of subs, for the same amount of dollar spend per viewer. I can't remember what the math was. They're earning considerably more anyway with having subs over on Coffee. There's one streamer in particular, it was it a quarter of their subs on Twitch? Moved over from subbing on Twitch to subbing on Coffee, which earned the streamer as much revenue from that quarter of their subs than the rest of the subs combined. I think that was the math. So you can see how much of a difference it makes. So those, I stole someone else's content and I'm streaming it now 24/7. People bots are verified. Yeah. Yeah. To stream on Twitch, you have to have a verified account. Like mobile verification or 2FA. Anyway, moving on. Moving on. The big one. Well, I'd say it's the big one. This is a tweet I saw. And this person tweeting isn't the person who's doing this. Let me just add. They're highlighting something which I had to bring up, which we'll get to in a second. Coffee is great. Yes, coffee is beautiful, Fred. Thanks for the reminder. If the account is legitimately made, it doesn't mean the content cannot be questionable. That's very true. That's very true. I'm just talking about those who are intentionally trying to stream questionable content for like trolly reasons. You saw this, Barbie? Yeah. This is gross. So witnessed in someone else's channel. We don't know who, but witnessed in someone else's channel. They had automated messages coming up in chat by their bot. This channel runs on the numbers-based justification of effort. If the first 30 minutes of a stream goes and chat is dead AF, the mic and VTuber model are both turned off until somebody says something. Unless that someone is just ding-dong ditching the channel. So, if chat's dead, I'm going to turn my mic and video off until someone speaks up. Ding-dong ditching, yeah. Ultimately coming in and saying like lurk immediately or hey and not saying anything else. Yeah. But it gets better. It gets better. Right? Automated message number 2. After 90 minutes of no chat, the channel goes into no effort mode and ad break length frequency are maxed out and will remain that way for the rest of the stream. Until either humongous raid happens, chat gets very active, or a tip or coffee sub actually happens. Failed stream streaks of 4 or more will result in NEM, which I don't know what that means. Being applied at the start of the next stream. Oh, this is the no effort mode. Sorry, NEM, no effort mode. Failed stream streak 2 is it too much to ask of you to support my content? No overlay, no face cam, not even a mic. Welcome to no effort mode, the result of countless streaks of failed streams of dead chat, non-existent view counts, and tips being mythically rare and very, very, very far between. I bet you this is constant. So in other words, pay me money or keep chat active. Otherwise, I'm going to put in less effort on my stream. Which is obviously going to entice you to be more active in my channel or pay me money, right? Because you want me to put more effort into my stream. Someone streams for the wrong reasons? Oh yeah. Or someone doesn't understand the purpose of streaming. I think we spoke about this last week, right? Streaming is not about you, the streamer. Streaming is about the viewer and the experience you're giving to them, the experience they're getting. That's what streaming is about, or that's what your priority should be. It's not about you, the streamer. Izzy, welcome, by the way. This person should not be streaming if they feel like they're entitled to people's time and money. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. If you're not putting effort in, you can't be surprised people are staying away, right? They have absolutely the wrong mindset here. If you as the streamer do not provide entertainment for me, I'm not going to chat. Or pay you money, right? Why would I come into a channel? Why would I sub? Why would I donate if you're putting no effort in? Oh, so you can put effort in. Yeah, that makes sense, right? Izzy's been here as long as you, but lurking? That's totally fine. You're allowed to lurk. Totally allowed to lurk. Serena, how you doing? This is kind of twisted. It's just shows the wrong prioritization for a streamer, right? Oh, I'm just going to turn my mic off, right? The whole purpose of live streams, the whole popularity of live streams is interaction, right? Either you're interacting directly with the streamer via chat, or doing redemptions or whatever, or you're seeing a streamer's interaction or reactions to what they're doing, or listening to them or whatever, right? The whole popularity in streams. But hey, because you're not subbing and because you're not active in chat, I'm just gonna take away that interaction. Yeah, you don't make your experience worse to get people to pay. It just, we know if we go back to this graph, can imagine where they lie on this graph, right? Hey, Kurt, how you doing? It's a lot of fairies. It's just, yeah. You pretty much know where the person lies on this graph, right? Speed Bubber, how you doing? Might be somewhat of a slot machine effect. Donate $10 and get content for it. Not sure how well that works. Where were we? Where were we? Shit, where's that tab gone? Not that one. That one. I do love the name My Stomach Hurts. Hopefully you're doing well. The streamer's trying to get a reaction out of people. I mean, they're getting a reaction, but I don't know if they know about it, because I don't know if they've seen this on Twitter. They'd get a no-follow, unfollow reaction. Yeah, so this is my point in the stream title and stuff. And it's just, if you want to push your audience away, what audience you might have, this is how you're going to do it, you know? Work, you'll be back nowheres. Comment boy. Thank you very much. I don't understand how people can come into streaming and have this kind of attitude. Yes, as said in chat before, this person's clearly very frustrated, very angry, with getting some like no activity streams and all this sort of stuff. But let's just go back to what I keep repeating is they're doing something wrong, or they're not doing something enough to grow their channel. No doubt, I bet you, they believe all they have to do is be live. They just have to stream and people will come to them. And they're getting dead streams, so this is the result of it. Like, you'd love to know how old they are? Yeah, probably quite young, I'd say. Well, actually, yeah, they could be young. That would be the assumption anyway. As a streamer, all I can imagine though is like during a stream, chat's dead. So I'm going to go into like low effort mode, right? I'm going to turn my camera off. I'm going to turn my mic off. Then what? You're just playing a game, hoping someone comes into chat. I can just only imagine that would just increase your frustration or increase your anger or displeasure of just doing that stream, right? You can't be enjoying yourself for sure. So you just get more and more angry and more frustrated. And as we all know, a stream is not enjoyable if the streamer's not enjoying themselves, right? So this is, it's amazing. I think when you get someone like this, they've only seen like the Doc or Tim and expect all streams to be like that. Could be right, CJ. Yeah, and that's, yeah. I mean, that's a lot of the motivation for people to take up streaming is they see people like Doc, Tim, Dr. Lupo, Ninja, all this sort of stuff. Then, you know, huge fame and chats just going nuts and they're getting all sorts of donations and stuff. People go, I can play a game. You know, I can do that. I can replicate that. So they take up streaming and they find out it's nothing like that. Young or just emotionally immature? Yes. Yes. If someone comes in and there's no talking or anything, they'll immediately leave. Yes, they will keep it. That's exactly it. And having, yeah, just, this is not going to entice people to do anything, right? So if I come into a channel and this message is sitting there in chat going, oh, everything's off because there's no one in chat or no one's donated or whatever. I'm out. It's a big red flag here. You often deliberately seek out smaller streamers or whatever game you're interested in and lurk for a bit before speaking up. Several you now seek out no matter the game because you found them fun or interesting. And Danilian, that's exactly it, right? There's a lot of streamers who, small streamers, young streamers, whatever, who will have mindsets like this, or you know, they're not talking into their mic at all. So they're just playing a game and they're not saying anything. They're not interacting or doing any sort of commentary or anything because they have the mindset of, I'll start talking when people come into chat. But majority of the time is people will come into the channel and lurk for a minute or two just to see what the content's like before they speak up. And they also have similar mindset of like, oh, you know, when I see them pop up in the chat list, then I'll start speaking. But the thing is, like, that chat list isn't live. It's got a delay on it. So someone's already come into the channel, they see you're not talking, and they'll leave before you even notice them. So it's like, these mindsets are so wrong. And yeah, like I say, the people who wait for someone to come into chat, they've already come into chat. They've seen that you're not talking, not interacting, and they've left. And that's why no one's speaking up. So yeah, it's what can you do? What can you do? As this person's carried on, putting in less effort will not result in an increase in viewership. It will not convince lurkers to stay. No, people have had a hard time getting an active fan base. It can take a while, and sometimes people leave because of it. Just keep trying, but you don't resort to stuff like this. You do know streamers who will disable their mic due to environmental noise, which is fine. Which is fine, Fred. You know, sometimes filters and all this sort of stuff aren't going to filter out that noise, but they're still interacting, right? And they only mute because of the environmental noise. But turning it off as a disincentive for chat going dead, or not subbing, or not donating, it's just... it's such... Anyway. You almost have to ask the streamer, why are you streaming in the first place? What is your motivation for streaming? No doubt it'll be all the wrong things. I've encountered a few streamers that are super lurkers or love, but sometimes still go, oh, you got a lurk? Sure, leave me. Yeah, there are those. The message itself? Yeah, the message itself is a reason to leave for sure. Yeah. It's also like you're punishing chat by having these rules. 100%, Serena. Yeah. If you don't keep chat active, or if you don't sub to me, I'm going to reduce the interaction that you get from this channel. Well, sorry, guys. You haven't subbed in the last 5 minutes? I'm just going to turn my camera on. If no one subs for the next 5 minutes, I'm then going to turn my mic off, and you'll just be sitting here watching the screen do stuff. It's so going to motivate you guys to sub to me, right? That did it wrong. Because I turned the mic off, it's now just turned, or turned the camera off now, just turn the camera back on. It's not meant to do that. It's not meant to do that. Interesting side effect. That works too. This would only be cool if you did something really amazing when you did have an active chat. That's very true, Kurt. But I doubt it. I mean, I was gonna say you could disable channel point redemptions or something, but you're still punishing chat. So it's not right. Right? Removing interaction or removing features because chat's not active just does not make any sense at all. I don't know. Maybe you guys can think of a reason why you would do such a thing. You would remove some part of the experience for chat because chat's not active. You're ruining it, Violet. You're ruining it. Can you think of anything? Because I can't. I can't think of a reason whatsoever. Once you got a random sub gift from someone while you were lurking in random stream and before you could thank the gifter, the streamer asked, "Who the fuck is twitching?" That's a bit weird. It's a bit of a weird response because we've had the odd gift sub, random gift sub in the channel that's gone to someone who I don't recognize, and it's just like, oh, congratulations to that person, you know. Lurkers exist, yeah. You can ask who that is, or like you know, while they might be lurking, you can congratulate them on receiving a gifted sub, or even do it anonymously and just say, you know, congrats to people who got gifted subs, but saying who the fuck is that person is not the most welcoming. Maybe I won't lurk your channel anymore then. That, and you've seen gift subs go to people who are not in the channel. Yeah, there's a that happens, Fred. There's a weird algorithm into how it dishes out subs. You get gift subs while you're asleep. Do you have like Twitch open in a tab while you're sleeping, Danilian? Out of curiosity. You replied just a random lurker. Hey Ed, how you doing? Nope. Interesting. Interesting that you're ending up with them even then, but you don't always have to be on a channel. For a while, I was leaving my PC on after I'd gone to bed, and like, you know, I'd be lurking someone's channel or whatever. And I'd wake up in the morning, I'd had like 6 gifted subs to channels I've never heard of before because each channel would subsequently raid another. And so my account was being dragged along as a lurker to each one. Gift subs were being given out. And because I was lurking the channel, I would end up with a lot of the gifted subs to these channels. I didn't even follow them or anything. Yeah. The channels you've been in, but sometimes only once. No. Maybe they're getting enough gifted subs where it's going through the pool and then it's ending up with you because you've been associated with the channel at some point. I see you doing something like switching to text-to-speech if your voice was fading, gone, or you're sore, but it would be health fix for you and temporary for the issue at hand. Yeah, DRT, it's not a punishment, right? Because your chat's not active. That's perfectly fine. But removing an experience from people as a punishment because they're not active is it's not a mindset that's going to do very well for any streamer. Anyway, I saw this and it was just, the comments in it are as you'd expect as well. We've seen one just chatting stream where they had no mic on. That was on. Were they talking in chat though, Barbie? At least like text-wise? Because I've seen that where the stream doesn't have a mic or they have to have the mic off, but they're at least typing in chat. Which still isn't a great experience for viewers, if you ask me, but if it's a last resort or something, then yes. Then it's, you know, then it works, but I've seen a few gaming streamers, like they're streaming from their PS4, for example. They don't have a mic, and they're typing on their mobile, but they're playing games, you know, like COD or whatever, so they can only type between matches or whatever. So you get very little interaction from the streamer, and it's not a very enjoyable time. But if that's all they're capable of, then that's all they're capable of, right? No mic and a just chatting stream is pretty much a just stream, right? There's no chatting. Occasional typing, but not really interacting, just random comments. Yeah, there's some weird streams out there, or weird motivations for streaming, I guess. Right? It's entertainment for people. It's interaction for people. If you have neither of those, why are you streaming? Or what do you want out of it? Especially if you're going to punish chat. People just want to get rich quick. Oh, there's all sorts of motivations for streaming, Violet. Sadly, getting rich is one of them for some people. Generally speaking, those people don't get very far. They don't get rich, that's for sure. Just existing. That should be a category, yeah. Seems like a waste of time. Like I said, Fred, there's all sorts of motivations for streamers. There are some streamers who just stream a game. They have no mic. They have no intention of interacting with chat or something. Generally speaking, they're good at said game, and they're just trying to show off. But it's like, yeah, you know, why not make YouTube videos? Make a montage of all your great plays and stuff, rather than a live stream if you're not going to interact. It is strange. People that do that, you can't understand what other reason they have? Yeah. Yeah. One guy that muted you since he couldn't concentrate on the game while the only person chatting with him was speaking. YouTube requires work? Well, yes. Gamma, how you doing, by the way? Yes, Serena, YouTube requires work. There are a lot of videos on YouTube that do not have any work, though. Right? Like, good YouTube requires work. That's the difference, right? The amount of videos I've seen on YouTube where no work is applied, it's just a straight record and then upload. No editing, whatever. There's a lot of that. Doesn't do very well, but there's a lot of it. You were trying to be funny. We took the chatting out of just chatting, so you took the just out as well. Thanks, friend. You're looking for work. You need more people that don't want to put work into YouTube. Touche. There's a lot of it, but they don't want to pay for it a lot of times, right, Violet? That's another problem. Is they want the work put into their videos for YouTube, but they don't want to pay for it. Yeah. So yeah. But in some defense, you know, to invest, say I wanted to do YouTube, right? I want someone, I mean, I do want to do YouTube, but I can't afford to pay someone to do YouTube videos, right? It's going to require a certain amount of money to invest into someone else to do the editing. And as we saw, fuck all streamers are making money. So, yeah, getting the money to invest in it. Yeah, it takes a bit of investment compared to doing it yourself, for sure. Even if you ask minimum wage, it's easily 20 or 30 bucks per video. Yep. You know, for people who are in lucky situations, like if you go back to, what was it, Harris Heller, when he was doing the Alpha Gaming channel, he was doing everything himself. But in the end, he invested in a video editor, which was actually costing him money, right? He wasn't making enough money on the channel to fund the video editor, so it came out of his pocket. But the effort the video editor put into it rose the popularity of the channel, and in the end started making even more money than what it was making before. But He still had to invest out of pocket, but not everyone's in that situation. But that's the hope, right? In paying someone, you hope that the revenue you get back is more than what you're putting into it. Not necessarily the case, and it might take a little bit of time, but that's a hope. But not everyone's in that position where they can put in that initial investment. And then, of course, it's a big trust issue with the editor, hoping that they put out the quality that you need to rise the popularity of the channel as well. In any case, how you doing? Happy Monday. You only thought of I don't have to do it myself, but higher quality. Yep, for sure. Yeah, if you get an editor who knows what they're doing, and can apply better quality to those edits than what I can myself, then you're getting better quality content out of it, and you can hopefully see a rise in views on your video, which is what Alpha Gaming saw. Sounds like the video editor was good at doing editing. Yeah, the channel's like exploded because he really knows his stuff. He's got his own channel now, but he still does stuff for Alpha Gaming, and the quality is up there. He definitely knows what he's talking about, and he knows what he's doing. But yeah, that's the gamble as well, right? That's why you want to vet your editor pretty well. If you just want an editor that, just so because you can't do it yourself and you just need someone to do it, then, it's fine. You're waiting for the new PC so you can actually use the programs again. That is part of the problem. But you're not just paying for people's time in editing videos. You're paying for people's knowledge, their expertise, their experience. Generally speaking, when you're paying someone. Yeah, I'm doing well. Any case, doing well. Just we're talking about how not to treat your viewers in Twitch streams. This example that was seen. Sorry, I was going to look through the comments and see what people were saying. Last time I looked through it, it's pretty much agreed. Like, this is a terrible terrible way of. Do my replies just? There we go. Hate how Twitter does this. Counting down the days when this person announces their retirement. Entitlement is one way of putting it, yeah. How can you expect viewers to give a shit when they clearly don't? Yep. Yeah, there's the $5 a month video, but we won't go into that. Stream like you've got 500 viewers all the time. Maybe not 500, but this is it. Like, no dead air. Because like we said, there's that delay of someone coming into the channel. You don't see them show up in the chat list. You're not going to chat immediately while they check out your content for the first time. Always be talking like there's people in chat, so that as soon as they come in, there's interaction, they know stuff's going on, rather than this huge delay of the streamer just being quiet, waiting for someone to say something first. And there's people who have that mindset. I've spoken to I don't know how many people when I've looked at their VODs when they've asked, like, what are they doing wrong and stuff, and there's no talking. And I've said, number one problem, you're not chatting. It's just dead air. Or you're playing the game or whatever, and they go, well, I'm waiting for someone to come in and chat and say something, then I'll start speaking. You've had a few streamers where you were lurking and you didn't even notice chat was very silent. You were legit thinking they were chatting to people. Yeah, that's just it. Whether, ask questions or talk about subjects or whatever, or just narrate what you're doing in the game. You're on the fence? Are you, Annie? How so? Like, happy to have a discussion. You notice I'm good at it too. I got to have some experience in radio years back, and it, even though it's on stream and I'm on camera and stuff, it's very much a radio skill of no dead air. Right? You could just watch a game, and that's fine. Why don't you just play a game yourself, or why don't you go to YouTube or something if the streamer's not chatting? Live streaming is about interaction and entertainment. You could just watch a streamer playing a game. I don't know how entertaining that is to you. Why would you come to Twitch instead of YouTube or something if the streamer's not going to chat? You just... Not very entertaining, is it? I mean, there's no epic plays taking place on screen, but, you know, this... to me, it's not... That's not why I come to a live stream. If I want to see great gameplay, I'll go to YouTube, where it will also be edited down and I'll get the highlights and stuff rather than just watching the guy in the lobby for the next 5 minutes, you know? Because they're pretty to look at. Okay, sure, there might be that. There might be that. That's fair. Touche. But that's a small niche. You can totally see me on radio. No, you'd hear me on radio, by the way. But live streaming became popular because of the interaction. It was a joke. I figured I'm taking the joke anyway. Live streaming is popular for the interaction. Sure, there might be some niche streams where there's not a lot of interaction. If we look at the really top tier streams, right? There's not a lot of interaction left. It's more entertainment. But you're still seeing live reactions from the streamer. If we're gonna remove that, if we're gonna remove even that, what's the point in being there? Why are you live? Interaction's important, but for the streamer with no views, if they have a view, then do not speak well. Now, if they have a view and then do not speak well, yeah, that's kind of what we're talking about. Annie, is as a streamer, and I'm streaming, and say chat is dead. Generally speaking, as a viewer going into a new channel that you've not really discovered before, coming into a channel and the streamer's not speaking, the streamer's not going to know someone's lurking for a while because the chat list does not update in real time. Sometimes there's a couple minutes delay before they'll notice a name pop up there. But by that time, the viewer's already been there for a few minutes, found the streamer's not talking, and they probably left because there's no interaction happening, right? The stream's not talking at all. Or what happens is the viewer comes in and lurks for a bit before saying anything. In most cases, right? You might pop into a new channel and just start speaking immediately. In most cases, the viewer will pop into a new channel and just sort of sit there for a minute or two. Scope out what the content's like. And if it's just silence from the streamer side of things, generally they'll leave. If a streamer has problems thinking of topics to talk about, there's actually a random topic generator. Is there? For me, my old tip was post-it note, put like 5 things on it. What's my favorite movie? Or what's my most recent movie that I saw? What's an upcoming game I'm looking forward to? What's my most favorite game? You know, just like 5 subjects. Put that on my monitor. Or for any new streamer anyway. Put that on their monitor. That way, if they ever find they're struggling for content or something to talk about, pick from that list, right? And it needs to be something that they can talk a lot about. It could be, you know, your favorite car or, you know, your favorite book, something that you can just talk a lot about because you're passionate or interested about it. And it helps fill that void. But yeah, random topic generator sounds pretty good. Usually just say hi, and if they don't respond, you'll leave. Yeah. Yeah. And that's exactly it. But, Annie, as an alternative, if you go into a channel and the streamer's talking, you know, about whatever, but they're actually talking or you know, narrating what they're doing in game or something, you come in and you say hi, you'll give it a little bit more time before you leave, right? Rather than, because they may not have seen your message yet or something, but you'll give it a little bit more time than if they were just not saying anything at all, right? You'll give them time to say, yeah. It's a big difference. You'll listen to entertaining people talk about pretty much anything, especially if they obviously really like the topic. Yeah, same. And got a bit of passion about it and interest in it. You know, it's good. I said hi pretty quickly. I try and concentrate on chat. You do really dislike that if it's silent and then they never respond? It's similar to small channels that play games that are very, how to put it, games that require a lot of attention, like competitive games, or let's take Valorant, for example. You need to concentrate in Valorant to do well. Can't be distracted by chat. Those games are difficult to get engagement with because it's like, okay, guys, for the next 5 minutes, I'm not going to interact with you or read chat or whatever. You're just going to watch me play a game for 5 minutes. And then when I'm done, then I'll come back to you. I find those streams not super fun because it's like, if you're the only one in chat, oh, okay, I'll just chill here for 5 minutes, while you have fun playing your game, and then we might chat, and we'll chat for about 30 seconds before you get into the next lobby, and yeah, this is really great, not super great on my side. Maybe if I was really interested in the game, like that, if I was really interested in Valorant, I want to see their play, sure, maybe, but usually I go into a stream for the interaction side of things, or I want to lurk because I just like listening to the stream and what's happening and stuff. You had a friend who streamed. His longest time to notice a chat message was 22 minutes. He doesn't stream anymore, though. Why is that, Barbie? Why doesn't he stream anymore? Usually give streamers 1 to 5 minutes to respond, depending on how active the chat is or what they're doing in the game. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, it's when they're like not doing anything, or when they're in like a, let's say Stardew Valley. Something that doesn't require a lot of super focus. Say they're playing Stardew Valley and you say hi, and there's like nothing for like 5 minutes. Priority should be on the stream. That's a lot. Other that still streams, and sometimes it takes like 10 minutes. But they're still seriously streaming? Wow. You like the small channels? I generally like the small channels. There's a couple of channels that I still watch that have, 100 to 200 viewers, but they're still really good at interacting with chat, or the community itself is actually really nice on chat. So it's like, you don't really need the heavy streamer interaction. It's just a nice place to be. But it seems to be above that. It's kind of all lost, personally speaking, anyway. I better not get too popular. Don't curse me for that, Kiwi. I mean, I want to grow the channel, but yes, there is a cap of where I'd like to be, because I prefer the interaction with chat than you guys just watching me do stuff. Thank you for the host, Annie. Came here for the coffee and chill. Sweet. When the streams go above 150 average, you usually leave. That's fair. Sometimes the whole community is nice to interact with. Yeah, exactly. In some streams, you do not really need the streamer. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, actually, Fred. I don't know, the, like Tim the Tapman streams, for example. Even over on YouTube, the chat is just, you can't even have a conversation with other people in chat because chat's just moving too fast. You can't, like, people can't see your message. You can't see their replies. It's just... And when it gets to that point, you're literally just watching the streamer almost as a talk show host rather than an interactive space. What is this music, by the way? Terrible. Yeah, it almost becomes like a talk show or a TV show where you're no longer interacting directly, you're just becoming a watcher. When it becomes less fun as a viewer. And yet, Barbie, those channels are huge, right? Because there's certain people that like that type of content. It's less about the interaction than it is the entertainment. Bit of a double, because you dislike it when it gets bigger, but you want people to succeed. Yeah. There's this this fine balance, isn't it? But that cap is usually around that you can barely pay your bills from it. Yeah. Yeah. There is a balance Yeah, a lot of you guys are here because you like the smaller channels where you get to interact, right? Let's be fair. Maybe not necessarily with me, but just smaller channels in general. Yeah, and those channels generally aren't being funded enough for the person to make a living off it alone. They have to do other things or whatever. To get to the point where you are being funded by streaming is usually a point where it starts getting out of control, or not the sort of space that you're looking for, is what I should say. For some, they get to the celebrity status and people are happy to just watch. Yeah, it's like you said, like reality TV. But again, you're no longer interacting, you're just being entertained. Atreyeu Arts, you usually only watch one streamer regularly anyways. Most of the time, it's just you and maybe one or two other people. While you like a small and tight-knit stream, you also wish the guy would get a few people sometimes. Feel kind of bad for him. Well, I guess the question is, what's he doing to try and grow it? If he wants to grow it. If he wants to grow the channel. Right? You might want the channel to grow, but there are some streamers out there who just don't. They stream for different reasons. Kitchen's calling you. You're still deciding to make the regular fajitas or the crispy ones. So you're going to make that decisive crisis in the kitchen. Thank you very much for hanging out, Violet. So, fajitas. Make the regular fajitas. Personal opinion. You want to root for all the small streamers, but you don't want to watch streamers who get too big, sadly. Well, I mean, usually it comes down to financial thing, right? Or, yeah, let's be fair. It's usually financial thing. It may not be the intention, but small streamers growing and getting to the point where streaming starts funding itself is a good place to be. So they can actually continue streaming. It's ultimately funding itself. And it kind of keeps rising, I guess. Most streamers who want to grow and stuff, they want to get to the point where they could do it full time. But you do have to be quite a serious, level to be able to do that. And that's usually the drop-off point for people who want that cozy, tight-knit community. It's a really tough balance. I guess the only way around that, even then you'd need a decent amount, but instead of subbing through Twitch, using alternative ways, direct donations, coffee, Patreon, all this sort of stuff, where the streamer gets more money, so you don't need the channel to be as big. Does that make sense? Even then, it's still you still need a decent amount of subscribers and stuff to get to that point. Tried quite a few things, but definitely more than can be tried. Last one was pretty funny. Allowed people to send in sound files, which you used to make a song. That sounds pretty cool. We're not getting a lot of viewers engagement. Was at an all-time high. So yeah, I guess there's a lot required in streaming for it to grow radio, and not in stream, by the way. Like social media and all this sort of stuff, getting people to actually know the channel exists. So I guess if he wants to grow, it's engaging and all that sort of stuff. If they're not already. Takes you a lot of energy to chat. Smaller places are more worth it most of the time, but you have a couple of exceptions. Fair enough. Like I say, there's a couple channels that are bigger that I like being in because it's still very chill. The super big channels I just never watch. Like, Co-Carnage, for example, I'll go in for 5 minutes because he's playing a new game that I'm interested in, and I'll go in, see a quick snapshot of what the game's like, and be like, okay, yeah, Co's a very knowledgeable guy in regards to games, so he knows what he's talking about. Tim, Dr. Lupo, Ninja, all them, it's just, that's not what I'm looking for on stream. It's selfish, it's more just your getaway and hangout time with friends. And that's exactly what streaming is. Some people just want to stream for the social aspect, right? And that's perfectly fine, if that's what you want out of streaming. If you just want to stream your gameplay and someone happens to come in and see how good of a gamer you are, that's great. Just do that. Do it for whatever reason you want. But I guess a lot of the purpose of these talks is for the people who are wanting to do something with streaming. wanting to do it seriously, even if it's just a part-time seriousness, right? As we know, it's very hard to make it to the point where you can live off of streaming itself. But if you're wanting it to grow and serious, you know, that's kind of what these chats are about. This is a nice chat. I'm glad you say that, Annie. So yeah, it all depends on what you want out of the channel. But I guess, yeah, my points are generally geared towards those who actually want to grow their channel and do something with it. And this is not how you do that. This is definitely not how you do that. Removing interaction aspects or even entertainment aspects, right? Turning the webcam off. You're removing the reactionary stuff that you get to watch. You remove the reactionary stuff, not just the interaction like turning the mic off. And then saying, oh, you know, if we get, what was it, 3 streaks? After 90 minutes, no effort mode. I'm not going to put any effort into my stream, guys, because you're not putting any effort in chat. This person's not going to make it. This person's not going to make it very far with this attitude. It's crazy. They should do the opposite. Every 100 chat messages, I'll turn off my camera. Yeah, it's so weird. Failed stream streaks of 4 or more. So I wonder how many failed stream streaks they need to get to just stop streaming altogether. If we get 5 failed stream streaks, I'm just not even going to stream at all. Can we get some no effort mode here? You don't feel like talking? Yeah, sure. I'm just going to go. You guys aren't putting in enough effort for me. So I'm just, I'm going to turn my camera off and then I'm just going to turn my mic off. Not very entertaining, is it? Not very entertaining, is it? Person is almost baiting people to start arguing with them. Yeah, and I can just imagine what their mindset will be, Twitchy. You just want to be dazzled by the streamer, but I have too much powder on the dome today. Well, Ed, if you want glossy dome, you gotta pay for it. And I'll get the polisher out. We'll go that way. But, until then, you guys have to deal with non-glossy dome, okay? Izzy has just complained that you need to stop being so interesting as you're distracting her from things she needs to do. Well, Danilian, like I say, I'll just turn my camera off and I'll turn my mic off and and you'll all leave. That's the secret to it. Use the automated message to make people angry enough to chat. I mean, maybe you're right there, Barbie, but I can just, my first reaction to seeing something like this in chat would be leaving. Not even arguing, just leaving. Or screen capping it and posting it on social media like this person does. The problem isn't with them, it's with chat. That's exactly it, CJ. I can just imagine if you went and spoke to the streamer and described how this was not a good way of dealing with it. I can just imagine the argument. Why should I chat to no one? Why, if they're not putting any effort in, why should I? Well, if an actor doesn't put any effort into their acting, do you think they get jobs? No. Because, my last movie didn't get many ticket sales, so I'm not going to put any effort into my next movie. Doesn't really work, does it? Not low effort enough, there's still music. Well, guys, Izzy asked for this. Next thing you know, you're going to say, oh, the emotes bouncing across the screen or too much interaction. We're going to have to disable that soon. I'm just going to have a, like, nothing on screen. You still see overlay? Just turn everything off, John. You've seen some streams where they have sub-only mode on and they have less than 5 viewers. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I've seen that too. Mm-hmm. Similarly, Muir, they have like 20 followers and they have, well, they won't have it at 20 followers. But they get almost no views on their stream. Or they have like a 2 average and they have VODs for subs only. Thank you, Kurt. Thank you, Kurt. That helps. Ficos, how you doing? You'll never see me do this on normal camera, by the way. It needs to be a full screen, doesn't it? Okay, now you just ruined it. You just ruined it. Okay. Now it doesn't have the same effect when it's pixelated. Actually, it kind of looks cool, doesn't it? A little bit. I'm still working on more effects, by the way, but they just take time to get right. Where was I? Real story. Remember when there was a bit of Class B or C actors coming to Twitch? You went to one and the actor was demanding donations. I mean, actors need money too, Annie. There are a few on Twitch. Still. There are a few. But yeah, like I said, low average viewer streamers who have VODs on sub only. It's like, no, it doesn't work. You told him that wasn't how it was done. He challenged you and asked how it's done. You told him build a community and their kindness may bring in donations. He didn't like that? Oh, I bet. Oh, I bet. Your roommate thought you died since Twitchy, who hates natural light, hadn't closed the kitchen curtain. One for the UK folks. I'll have a pee, please. I haven't been here long enough to get that reference. Where was I? Sitting in your chair while waving your arms. Nowhere. You saw these tweets the other day and spent 40 minutes talking with your mods and we are just lost with these things? Yeah, it just boggles the mind, right? Boggles the mind. But again, it just comes down to the same mindset, right? As a streamer, the stream is not about me. Even if, say I was a good gamer in something and I wanted to show off, the stream is still not about me. It's about the viewer experience, right? If I'm a really good gamer, I still have to create the good game experience of you guys watching it, right? Again, it's about creating the experience. I might not interact with chat very often, but I have to create the entertaining, good plays of the game that I'm playing for you to be, engaged in the channel. Or you create, interactions that you can redeem or whatever, or it's talking to chat or whatever. It's about the viewer. It's not about the streamer. Thank you for the lurk, Merman. Exactly, Space. Are you not entertained? That's the ultimate question. All right. You're making a Blockbusters joke, which is an old UK game show? Okay, I don't know the game show. Sorry, Izzy. I haven't been here long enough, clearly. So yeah, anyway, it's the mindset is that the stream is about the viewer experience, right? It's not about the streamer experience. And this one always ruins the green screen. And this mindset is clearly, it's about me, the streamer, not about the viewer. Because actually, Cocoa in the Mug, no, it's coffee. It's false advertising otherwise, yeah. Flippo, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, this just shows the wrong mindset. Simply put. And that should always be for any streamer. Well, maybe not any streamer. Like I say, if it's just a social experience for you, if it's just you wanting to show off or whatever, fine, do that. Any streamer who's wanting anything out of their stream, that should always be your mindset on all decisions. What does it bring to the viewing experience? Having a bit of trouble focusing today? Well, it's not going to help over here, that's for sure. Ed, thank you for the lurk. It's not going to help in here. So that's the stream talk subjects I had for today. If we do a quick recap, right? I try and do a quick recap at the end because for those who are subbed on Coffee, you get access to a cut up version of the VOD. And all the information that I speak about, all the links to all these articles and stuff are provided as part of that as well for the Coffee subscribers. So I do a recap at the end for those who have joined partway along the way, as well as for the VOD for this as well. Fortnite is being shut down in China. No Fortnite in China. It's kind of a blessing, but like I said, Fortnite's a daycare center, so yeah, no, Fortnite's a good thing for some aspects. Because of China's crackdown with games in China, not going to be any Fortnite anymore. Bye-bye. Apparently it's been on trial for the last 3 years. Twitch is launching a live streaming music incubator program. If you're a musician of any kind, there's a potential that you could possibly be helped out by this. I would like to see an incubator program for creative streamers. But like we said, this is probably more for Twitch trying to get in with record labels and stuff like this. China's going to war against games. In a way. YouTube is turning off the dislike count for YouTube videos. So the dislike button will still be there, but the count will not be, and this is trying to prevent targeted dislike attacks. There's a comment somewhere about it being helpful for streamers' mental health as well, which is true, but you can still see it in the dashboard. Twitch is coming to the Switch. Instead of Elf on a Shelf, Twitch on the Switch. Apparently the quality is quite good as well. I'm yet to test it out. If you want to watch Twitch, other places, in bed, while traveling, whatever, do it on your Switch. Discord tested a way to lose a bunch of Nitro subscribers really quickly, and this is how they did it. They teased that they might connect Discord with a crypto environment, and a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people unsubscribed from Nitro. A lot of really bad press in social media. It's a great way to lose money. Great way. You canceled your Nitro sub and a bunch of communities are on talking about moving to Gilded. Yep. Yeah, I saw the same on social media as well. I've heard some things about Gilded that some people haven't been happy about that have moved to Gilded. But, you know, it's quite a copy of Discord either way. Creator should be able to toggle dislike. I mean, the dislike button's still there, Denillion, but yes, there are drawbacks to disabling the count, the dislike count, because if I go to a video that I want to learn something out of and it turns out it's a really shit video, that's usually reflected in the amount of dislikes. But there are targeted attacks with mass disliking videos as well, so you can't curb one problem and still have it available for legitimate reasons, I guess, in this regard. But yeah, I do agree. There's problems with removing the dislike button, but there's also benefits in removing, well, not the button, sorry, the count. But there's benefits in removing the count as well. Nitro seems like a bad deal in the first place to you. Some people find great, like, some people can justify it, space. I don't see any value in it for me as well. I don't use Discord in a way where I'm missing really anything by not having Nitro. And then there's some people who say they can't live without Nitro. Depends how you use it. You're surprised Discord people didn't see this happening? Yeah. Yeah. But that's the thing, Twitchy. There's actually been discussions about this. Ubisoft and EA have come out saying they want to be leaders in the NFT and gaming space. There's a lot of other companies that are jumping on the NFT space as well, because there's a lot of investors out there who love crypto, they love the blockchain, they love NFTs. And if you're a company and you're wanting to get funding, catering to investors is actually a technique that they do. They may not even know anything about it, but saying the right things to investors gets you more funding. So it's like how would you put it? It's almost like dealing with the devil in a little way, I guess. Would it take away from Discord if they implemented this? I guess there's no talk about how they would implement it though, Kiwi, so I don't know. It was a tease, and that was enough for it. They didn't actually talk about how it would even be implemented. You managed to sleep through the Discord? Because Discord bros are so loud about crypto. Yes. Or crypto bros are so loud about crypto. Yeah. But it's Ubisoft? Yes. And EA as well. It's no surprise from EA. From what you've seen, a sudden drop in views is what makes creators worry much more than a higher number of dislikes. Yeah, well, from a creator point of view, yes, Flipper, yes, you're right. You wouldn't even know what Nitro does. It's a subscription to Discord, Fred, and you can have animated profile pictures. You can upload bigger files within the 8 meg cap. You can boost the server. I think you get better quality voice calls as well if you do voice calls and stuff. But like, to me, it just doesn't justify the cost. I don't use Discord in that way to need it. When you're in a bubble of people who are into crypto, it's easy to lose sight of the broader attitude to these things. Yeah. So on the investor point of view, I did some work for a company. I was doing some work for a company who all of a sudden, out of nowhere, decided they wanted to get into the crypto space and the NFT space. And the reasoning for that, right? They had no real vision as to how they're going to implement that into their company or into their product. But they announced that they were going to do so because their investors were like so interested in the space that they were going to be able to get more investment from those investors saying they were going to implement crypto and NFT into the product. Still had no vision how, but as soon as they announced it, the investors sat up. They're like, ooh, take my money. And talk about NFTs and games that you've seen hasn't actually talked about why it's better. Indeed. Gamma. Yeah. Exact same argument for me. I had an argument on Twitter with someone not too long ago. And they said NFTs and games is the future of gaming. But they couldn't actually articulate how or why. Or the one notion that they actually had was something that is actually achievable now without crypto, blockchain, NFTs, but studios won't do it because there's so much work involved. But they would still have to do that amount of work to implement NFTs into it. So it's like, it's not the future unless studios start working together. Paid for Nitro for Penguin and Bilbo the Cat emotes. Anyway, moving on. Some subscribers on Twitch seem to still be getting ads. Some streamers are getting ads on their own channels, which shouldn't happen. So, like I said before, if any of you out there notice you're getting ads on streams that you're subscribed to, let me know. I haven't witnessed it myself, but there's direct evidence here of a streamer getting ads on their own channel while they're live. Which is the equivalent of someone who's subbed to a channel getting ads. You've had some, so has Eddie, in channels you're subscribed to, Barbie? Because it shouldn't be happening. Streamer seeing ads on their own on their own channel is just epic. Sure hope he got the ad revenue from that. In channel sub to? Yeah, that shouldn't be happening. I would absolutely love to see more recorded evidence of this because it seems Twitch doesn't action on any anecdotal reports, but this is like an actual recorded evidence of it. I would love to have like people record their sessions on Twitch and show that they're subbed in the channel and still getting ads, because it shouldn't be happening. You haven't gotten any of your self space? Yeah. So yeah, that's a problem. Shouldn't be happening. It seems last week streamers got paid early. We should have been paid today, but got paid last week. And some are missing significant amount of money. A direct example I know is someone has shown me their payout. Someone has shown their payout last week, and they're missing about $300 worth. Oh no? Yes, Babs. Have you? Well, I don't know if you've received a payout. Have you checked it? I checked mine. Thankfully, mine's fine, and a number of other people's are fine, but there's some who are missing significant amount of money. Are we repeating the stream? No. Oh yeah, I'm doing a summary. Maybe. Got paid early doesn't include the whole amount. It's not how it works, Space. Not how it works. So we went through examples in this thread, and there's a lot of people who don't know how to calculate their revenue from Twitch, which is disturbing in itself. But there are actual examples where people are missing significant amount of money. And hello, Babs, by the way. Happy Monday. You're getting ads in other languages. Had some in German, Spanish, and Russian so far. And that shouldn't be happening either because they're regionalized. You're making free. No worries, Kiwi. As a result of the data leak, we've seen there's very few streamers who are actually making a decent amount of money on Twitch. You wish your ads were in a different language? At least then it would be kind of interesting, wouldn't it, Kurt? Wouldn't it? You got $100 extra. Wow. Interesting. I haven't. That's taking the incentive into account, right? I haven't heard of people getting extra, but there's definitely people missing some. Apparently you meant the creator revenue incentive thing. There you go. There you go. Yeah, that'd do it, but you shouldn't get less. I have a feeling there's something wrong because for those who are getting the incentive scheme, it lowered this month. It lowers every 3 months, and it lowered this month, and I wonder if that's got anything to do with people being paid significantly less. You have to pay that back? Don't say anything. Her actual sum was 120 under the incentive. Interesting. But you got 100 more payout, so that's fine. You're not missing anything, right? You had a Spanish ad on Tubi, which is free ad-driven service owned by Fox. Ugh. May not only be Twitch. That would be very weird. So Twitch's advertisement system is apparently Amazon's advertisement system. I wouldn't imagine Fox uses the same sort of thing. People who got more money are not as likely to complain. That's very true, Fred. Incentive was 420. You got 420. You actually would have had made about 280. Okay, so you met the incentive. That's fine. Yeah. So you got the incentive payout, which makes sense. That's perfectly fine. That's how I'm getting my revenue at the moment. Because of the local sub changes, if we didn't have the incentive scheme, yeah, I wouldn't be getting as much as I am. Because I hit my stream numbers for the incentive, I get a little top up from Twitch. The problem is, though, there's people who are hitting their incentive and still getting paid less. Like $300 less. The person who I've spoken to, it's a third of their payout. Which is there's no reason for it. You got paid last 90 months? Yeah. But like 20 or 30? Yeah. Significantly less is a big problem. Twitch gonna hunt you down, start threatening about breaking legs. Pretty sure they won't miss a few. a few dollars here and there, yeah. Tubi used to be independent, but Fox saw money, so they bought them. Paid $440 million? Never heard of it. It's US, is it US only? Space. But yeah, sorry, the Twitch data leak shows that very few streamers are even making money. This graph is revenue by user in 2021. This was up to September in 2021. And very few streamers, this is all streamers who earned any revenue on Twitch in 9 months. Very few even just made $1,000 in total. Not per month, but in total. We have, right, this big chunk of people here have only made $10 in 9 months. And then you've got this huge proportion here. So if we're thinking about streamers who, you know, make a living of streaming, we're talking about here is the living wage or a livable wage. About here. And it's just a tiny little smidge of the amount of streamers who actually earn a living, a livable wage from Twitch itself. Shows how few streamers actually make decent money from Twitch. Twitch should start threatening breaking fingers then. Good luck. I mean, they don't even uphold their own TOS, so I doubt that's going to happen. We've already looked at this. The perfect way to scare away your audience and keep them away is to ultimately remove interaction and entertainment from your channel as a punishment for chat not being active. So if you want to drive away an audience, then this is how you do it. You go, hey, if you're not going to chat, I'm going to start turning the mic off. If you don't chat longer, I'm going to turn the video off. If you do that multiple times, I'm just not even gonna like bother on the stream. It's a great tactic. Glimesh has announced that they're changing their revenue split. Instead of 50-50, it's now 60-40. So streamers will receive 10% more in their payouts from Glimesh. The only problem is there's very, very few channels on Glimesh, and if we look at their September report, you know, we saw they published their finances, right? Streamer payouts. There was a total in September of $838 paid out to streamers. $838. We don't know how many streamers this is across, but it's not a lot of money. It's not a lot of money. And then you have Glimesh itself is making a loss. But they're now changing the revenue split. So streamers are going to get even more. So technically Glimesh is going to get even less. But yeah, they're making a loss. So it's a bit of a gamble. They're probably... I mean, I think they always intended to change that sub-split. But making a loss. So now you're going to make an even bigger loss. And it's probably a gamble to try and entice people over to the platform. Because there's so much talk at the moment in multiple places about how poor Twitch's revenue split is. 50-50. They're going to try and entice some people to Glimesh by giving a better, it's only 10% more, but better sub-split. Not sure that's enough. Not sure that's enough. There's such a small viewership over on Glimesh. And it's such a, like, lesser experience for viewers over on Glimesh. I don't think it's going to do it. I don't think it's enough. Anyway, we were looking at these numbers in regards to the payment stuff. So this graph that we looked at earlier, where is it? That one. These numbers here are ultimately broken down amongst about 1.1 million streamers who can actually earn revenue through Twitch. It's extremely low. Very low. Very low. You don't like the name of that site and you refuse to use based solely on this factor. Fine. There's other platforms to choose from, Space. There's DLive, Trovo, Altair's coming but isn't here yet. Facebook, YouTube, you know, all that sort of stuff. Glimesh doesn't have an Android app, so you can't watch it. That's fair. Yeah, it's desktop only at the moment. I don't think Trovo or anything does either, do they? For those who don't know, Trovo is another one. Trovo is a Twitch clone. We don't show this one often, but we do the Glimesh check. Trovo is a Twitch clone. Similar sort of aspects of like bits and subs and all this sort of stuff, but it just not so much this page, but this is very Twitch-like. I'm on your Chromecast and you're chatting on your Android tablet. That works. That works. All right. If we go to the game directory, oh, how very Twitch. How very Twitch, right? And if we go into a random channel, again, or a random category, it's a Twitch clone. But this Trovo has far higher viewership than any other. Wow, I shouldn't say that. It's still fractionally below Facebook and YouTube, but when you're comparing it to Glimesh, D-Live, and all that sort of stuff, this has probably got a higher percentage of viewers. Parts are so similar, it's such a clone. It's almost like someone took one of those programming courses where they do like, oh, we'll make an Instagram clone or we'll make a Facebook clone or whatever, and they did that and they just applied it to Twitch. Like, let's just make a clone. Then we'll just adapt a couple things. You go into the stream, and this is a Twitch stream, right? Like, they've swapped the follow and the subscribe button around, I think. But it's, you know, chat is. Let me move myself out of the way. This could be a Twitch stream, just slightly different colors. Imitation sincere form of flattery? Yeah, absolutely, Babs. Absolutely. Just, I guess when it comes to business or platforms or something, you know, it's... Copying the platform is not going to bring the people in, if that makes sense. Like, just making a direct copy of something isn't going to make it as popular. But, you know. It's still better than Glimesh. Or doing better, I should say. Doing better. Follow and sub are swapped, so not a clone. Not a direct clone, no. 2 seconds, guys. I just got to step away for a second. I'll be right back. All right, sorry, guys. Subscribe button before follow button doesn't make sense. Or does it, Twitchy? Or does it? You know, you inadvertently subscribe to someone. Although that's what you're used to on Twitch anyway, right? The follow button at least is highlighted. You're more likely to click that because it's green rather than the subscribe button. But either way. Time for no effort mode. Surprisingly, when we look at the live streaming, we look at the live streaming reports that Streamlabs and Stream Elements put out, this never shows up on there. So it's still very, very small compared to YouTube and Facebook. I always forget Facebook because I don't care about it, but it's always small. But I've seen channels in here that, you know, have thousands of viewers. So if we look at Grand Theft Auto, there's 7.9 thousand viewers in this category at the moment. So there's still decent viewage. but it is very much a Twitch clone. So yeah, anyway, that's the Stream Talk stuff. I did have something lined up for you today. Something a little different. We don't have a lot of time for it, but it's going to be sheer frustration and anger from my part. Proper competition for Twitch seems like a good thing. Oh, absolutely, Kiwi. Absolutely. If I can... Let's see if I can find it. Hold on. Q3 2021 quarterly report. It's either Jump King or Getting Over It. It's actually inspired by them both, Gamma. 2 seconds. Just a second, guys. Sorry, dinner arrangements. You don't think there's ever going to be proper competition at this point? It's too big. What game? You heard Jump King. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Let me pull this up first. For those who haven't seen it. What's for dinner? It's takeout night. Because I stream until pretty much like dinner time, we generally get takeout on Monday. We haven't decided what. We'll decide that after stream. But we were planning on cooking something, and Crackle just remembered, like, oh, it's takeout night. So, yeah. Similar to Friday, because I stream till dinner time, ultimately. McDonald's probably goes for something a little nicer. So, going back to the talk about competition and stuff for Twitch. This is the Streamlabs quarterly report, which came out a couple weeks ago. And as we see, we only ever see 3. We see Twitch, we see Facebook Gaming, and we see YouTube. Like, there's DLive, Trovo, Glimesh don't even come into it. It's that big. Now, when you say Twitch needs proper competition, yes, it does. For a couple reasons, right? Twitch has, in regards to the total hours watched, right? 70% of the market share. Massive. Which is apparently reducing, but not hugely. 70% of the market, right? And there's a couple things that this causes. Lack of competition, so Twitch doesn't really change its game, but also in decisions that it makes. So big streamers like Dr. Lupo, Tim the Tapman, and a few other streamers who have special contracts with Twitch. Twitch is not offering much, right? But requiring a lot. So 200 hours a month stream time, so live stream time. Whereas other platforms are offering less because Twitch knows it's the dominant one in the market. It doesn't have to be competitive because all the viewers are here. If you want to be a big streamer, you got to be on Twitch because that's where all the viewage is, right? That's ultimately Twitch's mindset as a business. We're the dominant. We don't have to change. Right. If you want to be a big streamer, this is where you'll come. You can go to the others, but you're not going to be as big. Shouldn't that be metagaming? No, because Meta is only the parent company. It's like Google's Alphabet. There was a lot of hype in the media and stuff about the whole Meta thing, but Facebook is potentially still going to remain Facebook. It's just the top ownership company, which was Facebook, will become Meta, but there'll still be Facebook, Oculus, Instagram, etc. Anyway, Twitch is dominant in the market. It doesn't need to change anything to be competitive. But if we saw either one of these two chipping away at that over time, we'd probably still have to wait a fair amount. But as Twitch's market share reduces, that's when Twitch will become competitive. So we kind of need these two to grow. I wouldn't want Facebook to grow. YouTube will probably be the one that grows the most. I'm still dubious about these numbers. You know, if it all of a sudden Twitch has got 50% market share and continuously sees it reducing, and that's when we'll start seeing big changes from Twitch. Might change their revenue share if they can afford to. Might be offering other features or whatever, making big changes to the platform to try and retain their market share. Until then, we're not going to see big changes here. In saying that, we're seeing big leadership changes at the start of 2022. So we might see big changes, but that's a very big if, right? I'd say any big changes coming due to the leadership change is going to be mid 2022 onwards, if we see any big changes. We might not. We might not. So anyway, that was the stream talk stuff. By all means, if you have anything else to discuss, happy to discuss it. Twitch has most viewers. New streamers come to Twitch for viewers. Yep, Twitch grows. Competition weekends. This is the way. That's pretty much it. That needs to change their space, but it needs to change to see change come to Twitch, if that makes sense. And at the moment, for me personally, YouTube is the way to go. It's easy to get started on Twitch. I mean, it's easy to start streaming, yes. Do well? No. Not so much. I think YouTube has a lot more discovery. Even with live streams, it's got more discovery. But I guess it's more complicated. There's a bigger learning curve in regards to starting live streaming on YouTube. I'm not talking about recorded VODs or anything. I'm talking live streaming. Bigger learning curve in starting. But yeah, getting started on Twitch, very easy. Download OBS, connect your Twitch account, boom, start streaming. Or just do it straight off your Xbox or your PlayStation. But actually start getting traction, that's a different story. Unless you do your research and find that you have to get involved with social media and other communities and all this sort of stuff, there's really nothing from Twitch's side to instruct you on how to grow as a streamer. There's zero discoverability on Twitch itself, unless you're very lucky, but essentially zero discoverability on Twitch. You can literally just press a button on your tablet and get started. Oh, yeah. Actually, live streaming, yes. Very easy. Very little hassle, very straightforward. Twitch has even got like pages on, how to get started very quickly. Yes. But actually growing and like getting anywhere on it, that's a different story. That's definitely a different story. So yeah. You want to see me get increasingly frustrated for the last hour of the stream?